God, Coop, you look so sexy in this sweatshirt.
Uh-huh.
Ass is so hot.
Stop it.
Do you want to be my boyfriend?
No. I get it. It's very funny. Stop.
Oh, Coop, I'm just kidding. Come on.
I know, and it's very, very funny.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me make it up to you?
No, you've done enough already.
Coop, I'm going to find you a woman today.
Honestly, don't worry about it.
No, and I'm not going to rest until my mission is accomplished.
Okay. Well, then I guess I'll cancel that order of onions and Lindbergh cheese I made for lunch today.
Yeah.
I want you inside me.
What?
Oh, hey, what's up?
Mic check. No, we're fuck mic check, and we started. Gosh, on to the next podcast. Even though I just fixed the last one like fucking 5 hours ago. Hi, TalkRadar 162. I'm Christopher.
Man, not one screen of Robin in this book. I'm disappointed. This is Henry Gilbert.
This is Brett.
Mike Grimm.
Mike Grimm. Welcome back, buddy.
Thanks.
Henry, you're referring to @Gamer's cover story of Robin.
Yeah, it's an interesting cover story, but I was hoping for
New shots.
an in-game screenshot of Robin, which it did not have.
Oh, hi. What are we doing today? I don't really know.
Well, we've already done the top 7 in TalkRadar 161 for this week. And
what a show! In that episode, we talked about a certain game.
Resident Evil, The Mercenaries.
I know. A lot of people were very pleased with your 13-year-old Chris character.
Yeah,
that was gonna go touch on girls' butts, and dude, let's go have this guy. I got a fake ID. Let's get some Keystone.
Let's get fuck bitches in their pussies. I believe was quoted to me.
Yes, like you talk when you're a teenager,
as you do.
Yes,
I'm so cool, guys.
Hank's got a good one. That's still your Tiny Tim character.
Man, it's sad that I'm more associated with Brunswick Bowling. It's that's the game I'm most associated with now. I really like Mario 3, guys. Let's remember that.
Yeah,
you can't escape. You can't escape your legacy.
Yeah.
We're gonna go back on your legacy, Hank. I think we're gonna travel back in time and revisit your first appearance on the show. And there's some anniversary. We'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
And I apparently love every Animal Crossing anime, unabashed fan.
Sure do.
I like the GameCube one. Period.
I played the DS.
The DS one was okay, and then the Wii one was stupid. So
I see. Well, what do we do now?
I don't know. Do you want to go? Do you want to go?
I really don't want to do.
Goodbye.
Well, psych. No podcast.
All right. See you guys later.
I'm gonna go home and sleep in my bed.
I made an LA Noirticle. That's all I can say.
That's funny.
Dumb faces.
I mean, the article is funny, not that term.
LA Noirticle.
Well, there's a...
All right. More energy from me.
There's two discussions.
I'm exhausted. Been a bad week for me. You know why if you listened to the last show. You know what is weird when I encounter so many people during my day-to-day as a smoker and a city walker and a traveler. People ask, how is your day? They really don't want to hear how your day actually is. And I've just now, don't tell them you broke up with somebody. Not good. You broke up with somebody. And then that look on their face like you weren't supposed to answer.
I didn't really want to know about you. I got to go someplace.
Cutting-edge commentary.
Well, it's actually happening to me. Is that okay? Is that okay? Would you like to say something more about Zelda? Oh, is that what we're doing?
That's later.
Dear.
That's eventually.
That's why you
is it? I don't have anything fucking planned.
You turn yourself into an island, Chris. That's how you
develop
as a human being. Yeah, an island. You cut yourself off from all those people that don't care, and you become your own self-sustaining landmass. Yeah.
How do you put on a face that says to people, "Don't talk to me."
Right. Or you put on a little song and dance for them so they'll like you, and then as soon as they're gone, you just go, "Fuck that guy."
I've seen you do that, but
come on.
So I should land on Plymouth Rock, not have it land on me. All right.
That's good.
That's horrible. We're going to go with that.
This is good. This is good.
Well, if he's an island, what's underneath the water? What's the rest of the
probably
the
a time travel mechanism or something. That stupid show you guys claim to still like.
What?
Maybe scientists pretending to be
Oh,
zombies.
you're talking about Lost.
I don't know. I just got to thinking about it the other day, and it really fucking irritated
I never
me.
I've told you
Lost,
no
I
less than a
don't
dozen times how I feel about Lost.
God, Charlie's like, I still had a good time watching it. Like, really? Like, what 2 seasons do you forget about in order to make that show make sense? Is it where they went back to the 70s, or is it when there were zombies that turned out to be scientists? Those are mine.
I never saw the show, though. I watched it.
You all right?
Take a drink of your tea, darling.
You need to have the soundboard from now on.
Bunch of shit.
I want to mention that a week ago, after Wednesday's podcast, you and Brett talking for so long about Battlestar Galactica. If you had talked for 2 minutes less on that, I would not have missed my BART, and I would have had 25 more minutes of my life
reflect on
not
Galactica.
spent at the BART station.
Wait, when did we do that? Oh, at Pizza?
At pizza.
After pizza, you guys started talking about how bullshit Galactica is.
No, Brett
And
started saying that. I'm
just
not on
silent,
the bullshit Galactica
and I was just
train.
sitting there. I was just standing there like, yep.
Wait, this
Battlestar.
week?
It was
last
last
Wednesday.
Last Wednesday?
Yeah.
Why didn't you just leave? What were you waiting on?
Well, Michael,
Oh,
and
Michael
Michael and I
was
were
giving us
both being
I
nice.
see.
And it didn't seem like I needed to be in a rush, but then
Right, I got it.
get at the BART station as my train pulls away.
Right.
And I have to wait 25 minutes.
But now you know how I feel about Battlestar Galactica.
I feel like I must have already known that.
Morning
I'm
radio
sure.
noise.
I'm sure I've told you.
What?
I wanted to get into the Zelda business, but I mean,
Get into the Zelda business.
But,
That's the only thing I have.
I want to be
prepped.
loosened up. We're all still real rigid. And
Okay.
we need an icebreaker.
That's all right.
well,
Do you want me to say
Yourself.
more about how I'm feeling right now to be told it's cliched and not funny?
No,
Anybody else want to do this?
I
That's the
never
beauty
said
of
that.
comedy.
That's the comedy boomerang coming back at you.
Might have a boomerang noise. Here, I guess that's it. Right in the
That's
noggin.
usually what happens when you throw one. When I throw.
Our sensibilities as people want to just come for you and make you feel good, but the comic sensibility is like, it's only funny.
It's true.
Things are only funnier now to kick you when you're down.
This
Like,
is true.
The
I
other
agree.
thing, would
I
you believe
agree.
me for a second if I coddled you and said,
No.
I'm sorry, Chris?
No, not really. I
he made a
suppose.
mistake. It'll be all right.
No, no, she's
I
doing the
just
right
patted
thing.
him on the
Can I get another beer?
That's better.
Yeah, I was on the Ad Gamers. Jesus Christ, are you creating a character here?
Well, I think a lot of listeners really liked the podcast. I coughed a lot.
Yeah, but
on,
the-
so
the
I decided
extra-
to get another cold.
God, I watched that happen. Just a sudden, violent reaction of, let me just reach for this spear. Ah!
The extra, you're like that asshole dad who dies in the movie that everybody wants to see go. Just starts coughing and that. Should have been you, Henry.
My job,
The wrong kid died.
my job down at the plant is so hard. You fucking kids.
Henry works in an asbestos mine in his free time.
Yeah. That or fucking like immaculate Berkeley. Like, what are you doing to fight so hard against health?
years.
What are you talking about? I live a healthy life.
Do you?
You know.
How many packs a week or day do you smoke, Chris?
Fine. We want to compare this.
I'm just saying.
Which one
Chris-
of you guys has the cough?
You guys go out every day and have a bucket of mayonnaise and fried bread from that Hawaiian restaurant that's fucking vile.
Right,
You
no.
have Milky Ways for breakfast. Like we all have
discussing-
health issues.
I'm discussing coughing. That's
Fuck
what I'm-
no.
How many bacon and hamburger pizzas do you have?
Bacon and hamburger pizzas do I have? I have one thing that Henry ate. I ate one slice of that you eat every time, and I had nightmares. I woke up with
Well, no, I mean, I have to.
Meat-based nightmares.
Sometimes I wake up and have to take a Pepsid AC.
Pepsid AC.
I will not change my habits.
Yeah.
Eh.
I'll just buy extra strength.
Well, yeah,
Pepsid
so
AC.
it's a lot of animal fat and candy. I mean, that's a lot of my diet.
Should throw some iceberg lettuce on there? Maybe like a little bit of
Hey,
celery.
that's basically useless. Even
Yeah,
you need
I'm
to eat
baby
chard.
steps.
But yeah, you gotta work
baby
your way
steps
up.
from baby food.
You need to eat kale and chard. Just
I'm just
down
kidding.
it.
I've been eating terrible. I'm on the meat again. I'm on the meat.
Is that a euphemism?
No, could be. Could be.
No.
I'll suck. There, hold on. You earned that. There we go.
Yes.
I'll give you that one. No, I'm on the meat again. Just
What you been eating?
I don't know. It's just that
Let's do that instead of what you've been playing.
What you been playing?
What you been playing? What you been eating? Well, I had a pastrami sandwich, which I hadn't had in like years. That's kind of great.
Went to some deli, I guess.
Pastrami
did.
is pretty great.
Yeah, I hadn't had it in a long
it's
time.
pretty
How
good.
do you corn beef?
You know, I'm not.
Nobody
entirely
knows.
sure what the difference between corned beef and pastrami is. Pastrami's got pepper on the outside, right?
And that's not corn. I was just assuming it was the same thing.
I need a Jewish deli over
I was gonna
here
say.
right now.
No, I liked it better when we were making fun of all of our health habits.
Yeah, I should probably go back to doing that.
Yeah. So
I have
what else?
shit blood. I did. Tyler made me laugh so hard in the elevator today that I dislodged.
Nagata or Wild?
Wild. I dislodged something that I didn't know was buried in my nose and shot it across across. The thing is, there's a fucking camera in there.
Yeah.
And remember they sent a company-wide email. Who spilled coffee in the elevator?
Right.
And it was me because the door closed on my. It closed on me while holding a cup of coffee, and I almost threw it down the ground and started kicking the elevator for closing on a human being. And
That violates the prime directive of the elevator.
and I didn't say anything, and then all of a sudden HR comes up to me like, we reviewed the tapes, man. We know it was you.
God, why
Who
would they
spilled coffee?
Why would they bother? Like, we gotta take this to the tape.
He did. He
man.
said,
That was
he
the
said
whole
like
day.
the UPS guy came in there and just, I can only imagine, did it, and almost hurt himself and threatened
Yes,
them or some
coffee
shit
on
like that.
carpet, like really slippery stuff.
Here
Gotta
we
keep
go.
him busy.
Let's see,
I got
Henry
molested.
Gilbert, Amazon. Whoa! I'm the UPS guy slipping on
Yeah.
some coffee. Sorry.
Speaking of Amazon,
Yeah,
they're really
sucks.
giving it to us Californians.
Yep.
And
It
as
makes
a,
perfect sense.
As a latent Illinoisan, I'm also having to deal with it when I'm over there.
It just sucks that they're Amazon strong arming their affiliates. Like my other site that I run with my used to run with my girlfriend. They sent me an email saying if we allow this to go through, we're canceling all your accounts. All they're asking is for you to pay taxes.
Yeah.
You should pay taxes on stuff people buy from you. No, we're not doing that. Instead, we're going to cut out your whole program. The way that tons of people have legitimate businesses as Amazon affiliates in the largest state in the continental U.S.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it was Tejas.
And the most populated
second largest, the most populous state with the biggest economy. They're
Right.
just going to cut all that off. They're strong arming people like me to talk to my congressman, which I don't know what my congressman
Really,
is.
Amazon, you can't just pay the sales
Pay the
tax and
taxes.
bail a
Pay
country
the
out
taxes.
and bail this poor state out of its...
How could you not know who your representative is? It's the most famous Democratic representative in America.
Oh, what's her nuts?
Nancy Pelosi.
Yeah,
That's
Pelosi.
Also,
Yeah.
isn't that fucking asshole that did the
Leland Yee's
Yeah,
a
Leland
state
Yee.
senator.
State
I think.
senator.
Oh, I was
Okay,
going to say
there you
MC Scat Cat.
Yeah, that's-
that was
so
the right
he's-
answer.
go.
kind of- So he's kind of a senator.
Do we have Zelda stuff?
State senator. What? I want to talk
Have we
more
had
about...
enough preamble?
Yeah, we need it. Well, how about before we do that?
Before Grim tunes out completely.
Yes.
What's that?
Well, we were talking... Charlie was...
Well, Michael's not here. Could someone read webcomics while I'm talking?
No, yes, I'll get
Uh,
right.
He had a
I
good
love how
reason for that web comic.
No, he insists on being on every
In the
podcast.
first 100 episodes.
He insists, I've got to be on the podcast, and then reads webcomics throughout the entire thing.
Only 70%.
It was
Tim
just
Buckley's
so pronounced
Lost?
on an iPad. Wow, you can't even hide it now. You can't Alt Tab out of there.
Yeah.
But
Last
Michael.
time it was because he didn't want to hear Dead Space 2 spoilers.
Oh.
That was
Well,
his excuse.
I see.
That's his fault for living in June.
I know. He's the one. He plays the most games of anyone in the office.
Isn't he the one who was reviewing Captain America after you turned it down?
I turned it down.
And I turned it down.
Woof.
Oh man! But Michael,
Michael, I will gladly waste my weekend on this.
he'll have all the money
Actually,
from
shit.
the
Yes, all
very
the-
high-paying freelance reviews.
Yeah.
But no, we were looking at old features, and Charlie was just digging through stuff. We found out that 3 years ago, last Friday, so it's fairly recent.
What is this?
The
No, bring that up after the Zelda thing.
Why?
Because I want to go. I want to play the first part in the break. It's like a 10-minute thing. It's back when our shows were only 45 minutes.
All right.
well,
I'd say we're on track for that right now.
Yes.
Let's just take a break.
Let's do go into your Zelda thing. I can start you off with something if you'd like. I made a little something for the Zelda thing.
All right. Well, so posted Thursday. It's Wednesday night. I have not finished it, and I've got very important things to do Thursday and Friday.
Well, this
in and out of
if you're
work.
stuck on anything.
In and out of
what's
work.
this about?
So I'm fucked.
What's this about, Zelda?
So a couple months ago, Heidi Kemp's freelanced for us the why every Final Fantasy is the best or worst.
Oh yeah.
What a good feature that
And it was a great feature. It was a good idea, and then she executed it well, and it was just fun to read. Got a shitload of comments and did a bunch of traffic, and it was just I like the idea, and there's always a reason you can argue why it works especially well with Final Fantasy because everything everyone loves about one are the same reasons everyone hates them. But then I thought that idea can probably apply to a lot of series.
So you stole it.
So I stole the idea.
Stole it.
Nice.
Stop paying her.
No, if anyone's writing this one, it's me. with some help from Henry and Carolyn. But why every...
Wow. Go ahead.
I don't know shit about Majora's Mask. I can't stand that fucker.
Nobody's writing this but me and a couple of other people.
Well, nobody's hitting it up but me.
I see.
I'm writing 80% of it.
Okay.
Majora's Mask is the best.
Sweet. Is this another Grimmism? I love these.
No.
Oh man.
That was a flip.
No, look, we'll get to Majora's Mask in a minute. Like,
Grim is instinctually
Contrarian.
Not, but like when you say
I think
contrarian,
we
it's
could
like
argue on that point.
He's funny. He's from the planet Contrary.
Yes.
So he's a contrarian.
I'd like to think you find the joy in things most people overlook or disregard.
I guess, yeah.
My favorite game is God Hand. I've never seen anybody. What was the stupid game? Cool looking game at your house.
Bangai-O?
Bangai-O, like the enjoyment coming out of your mouth.
Missile Fury HD.
Yeah.
Game of the year. You should go buy that on HBO.
I will go buy it.
That game, I played that game on the DS. It's too much for me. So much happening. I just couldn't.
When it's on a
think,
big
man.
screen with 5.1, it doesn't have 5.1. When it's on a big screen and it's loud, man, that's great.
I should. I ought to download that.
It's pretty good.
I think I'll wait till they put it on sale.
As a guy that is always taking the side of Japanese games, Henry, you'd fit right in.
Oh, yeah.
Bangai-O fan base.
Well, I love Treasure. Like Treasure, that's a treasure game, isn't it?
Yep, angry Japanese fan base.
It doesn't get much more Wapanese than
Oh!
Treasure.
What'd you just say?
What?
Hey, I love a Shigeru.
This
Hey.
guy over here with his Wapanese. Get out of here. I'm making a fool. Hi. All right, let's go, you kookarabans. Zelda.
What?
Zelda.
I thought we were talking about Bangai-O.
Nah, this is Zelda. Love and hate shit.
No, just why everyone's the best and worst. And
What do you think's the best?
I thought it'd be,
In your opinion?
I don't even know.
No?
Like,
I understand. I don't think of things like that anyway.
I think what I think is the best 2D and the best 3D.
Yeah.
But
Link's Awakening, and you said Twilight Princess, but
Link's
you think...
Awakening?
where'd you get Link's Awakening?
Oh, no, excuse me, Link to the Past.
Yeah. That's the best 2D Zelda.
And Darksiders.
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 Absolutely.
Even
It has an extra D, though. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So yeah, it's just going through each one of the games in the series and then arguing why it could be the best and why people who think that are right, and then also why it's the worst, and the people who think it's the worst are also right. It's just taking both sides and amounting to absolutely nothing. What Grim would say, it's a South Park episode.
Right, yeah. The entire series.
We'll start.
Jeez Louise.
Well, Zelda 1. It's kind of impossible to suggest
What's
it's
there
the
to
best.
hate about Zelda 1?
Well, it's not hate. It's why it's the best or worst. You have to it's like black and white, 0 or 100 kind of thing.
How could you say it's the best? I don't
Exactly.
understand.
You can't say it's the best, but like my argument for it was like, well, it's the one that started everything.
Yes.
Almost in most cases, the first game in a series sets up some like basic shit that the other games just then run wild with and really elaborate on. But Zelda is one of the few games where like most of the main stuff that everyone equates with Zelda started in the first game and is largely unchanged to this day.
Yep.
The structure, a lot of the enemies, the items, the villains, the main like all this stuff is so similar, and it's like, well, there's a reason because that game fucking rocks and it works.
And I don't even consider it an RPG for whatever
It's
reason.
not an RPG.
Isn't that crazy?
It's not an RPG.
But it looked like every other RPG, so I avoided it for...
The thing is, there was so few things like that at all at the time, much less on the NES in that time period. There was almost nothing to compare it to. You're comparing it to games where you just ran straight.
Yep.
And then this was a game that just starts, and you're like, what am I supposed to do? And just the idea of like...
Find a cave.
I would go... And this is one of the negatives as well. Like, there's no help whatsoever. But that was like first grade. You would just...
How did people figure that? Was it in the manual mentioned somewhere?
The manual had a kind of a map, but it really was. With no internet, it was a combination of Nintendo Power, like literally everyone subscribed to Nintendo Power in 1988. Or if you didn't, you knew 5 other people who did.
Yeah,
and on top of that, Nintendo was huge.
I knew what to do without...
So like my first exposure to Zelda was like playing it at a friend's house. And then... another friend had it, and then the 3 of us would start talking about it. And when you have 3 people playing it nonstop, that's how you figure things out.
So I remember everything about Mario 64.
Yeah.
Friends, like a 5-person team.
Yeah,
constantly
when you're
tackling
all
everything.
playing it at home, when you all go home and do the same thing.
Figure this out! Come watch! Here's where it is.
And then you
Here's where it
shared
is.
that information
Got it.
like in person, and that was a huge part of my childhood was playing Zelda 1. Doing that, but conversely, why it's the worst? It's the least fucking accessible game in that series. Like it's Star Wars wipes open and then go,
and it has like 6 colors.
Yeah, it's a very rudimentary game. It's also on a rigid grid. Like it's only 4 directions. There's no help, no hints as to what to do, and even like all the stuff that really makes it special, like bombing the walls to find hidden passages, burning the bushes, pulling tiles, knowing that shit is even there. no hints that exists.
Mm-hmm.
It's sheer accident or word of mouth, or in this day and age, a fact. There's no hint that that's even possible.
Fucking facts.
You mean like off cheatplanet.com?
Like
Cheatplanet.com.
Redirects to GamesRadar.com/cheat. So, I mean, that's... What does everybody else feel about Zelda 1? Zelda 1.
I grew up on the planet contrary, so I didn't have any of these friends to talk to.
Aw.
We didn't have...
I remember...
Grimm's more of a fan of Zelda 2.
I remember playing it at
Really?
I remember playing it at a friend's house.
And it has the gold cartridge that changed my
being
life.
very, very confused.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then seeing them fight like the third boss or something, and then say, "How did you do that? Where are these things?" Like,
There's another world after this?
Yeah. The Master Quest. It was
what
just...
is everybody looking at?
I swear I'm seeing things move.
There's a specter.
It might be my floaters finally...
Me.
Might be my floaters finally driving me crazy.
Distracting me. We got so much.
Zelda 2.
to do.
Zelda
2.
Zelda 2. Well, what's some other... Are there any controversial ones that people... Majora's Mask. Four Swords.
Well, are we not going to go through all of them, or are we just going to jump
Go through all of them if you want. Yeah, might as well. It's a little quicker.
Zelda 2. That was a side scroller, right?
Yeah.
That was my first grind where I ground myself to a level so high where the game wasn't fun anymore.
Yeah.
But I'd never had the opportunity to grind before.
Yeah, and that's the weird thing. Zelda 2, you gain experience points,
Yeah.
and you had magic points, and you had spells, and all this weird shit in there. But one of the reasons why you could consider it the best, and I really love Zelda 2.
I don't know about that.
What?
I don't know.
I fucking love it. But like one of the things, like after a game like the first one, that's so just like figure it out. I don't give a shit. The second one is actually much more linear, and the first half of the game, it's basically like breadcrumb trail where to go.
Yeah.
And then by the time it like turns you completely loose, you know how the game works, and now you're like, I know generally what I should do and where I should look, and when something weirds me out, I get why it's a puzzle now, and that's why it's a little bit more enticing. And also, it's changing up. You walk around in an overworld, you can avoid the enemies if you want, but then when you hit them, it's 2D side-scrolling Mario style. But within that comes like a really cool like high-low game of attacking enemies that can hit you high and low, and Link can block high and low as well.
Jumping down
Is down thrust and up thrust. Like he just has a lot of moves. Like it felt like there's a lot more going on. Like Link had more moves. There's villagers. Actually, Link has one line of dialogue in the game. The only time he ever says a word, he says, "I found a mirror."
Excuse me, princess.
I found a mirror under the table. That's it. And they use that mirror to do something. But then when it's the worst, it's like, well, this game is so barely Zelda.
It just breaks the Zelda mold more than...
you have a dedicated jump button. Like it's just, you are always jumping.
It's just not Zelda.
It's really strange. But I respect it so much for that, because that's indicative of the Wild West days of the fucking game industry. It wasn't a
revelation
franchise.
we hit upon, like the second game, they were so concerned about it being confused for the first game. Every number 2 on the NES days was wildly different.
Yeah.
Like what?
Number 2.
Ah! Oh, look at that! I did. I've made
think about it.
Mario 2 is fucking out there. It's the only Mario game like that, and it wasn't. It's a reskin, but it's because we don't want anybody to confuse us for Mario. That's why they didn't release the Lost Levels thing. It looks too much like the first.
It's like Gears of War 2 is so much different from 1 too.
I'm saying that's not nowadays.
Well, now everything is just make it the same game.
Yeah, try and have it look exactly. I don't know. It's like almost intentional. Look like the old game with some brighter colors. Yeah,
lighter shade of brown. Maybe,
but think about Castlevania 2.
Yeah, crazy. And then after that, they went back to the formula set in place for the first game.
Simon's Quest kind of sucks, though.
No, what?
I didn't like it.
Oh,
it's a Symphony of the Night before Symphony of the Night, and it has the same problems as a lot of 8-bit games. There's no help. It's just raw. Figure it out, and it's like, damn it! I had that time when the '80s, and even by high school, I'm like, I don't have time to figure this shit out.
Mom wouldn't renew my Nintendo Power subscription, so I can't beat this game.
Mega Man 2 is one of the few.
Yeah, that was,
Well, it's very similar.
Like the same sprite. But I mean, but it did increase, like they changed the interface. Like Mega Man 1 has this weird, 6-character select screen with actual sprites from the enemies, whereas 2 started the portraits and 8 enemies and then fighting.
And the Wily levels.
There were Wily levels in 1.
This isn't about Mega Man.
4.
4? Fuck it then.
Yeah, it's not about
Let's
Mega
move
Man.
on. Next Zelda.
Link to the Past would be the third one,
Who would hate Link to the Past?
You'd have to be a shithead.
That's what Carolyn said, that you would literally have to be... She was very like I don't know what she's written yet because she hasn't given me the text. She's writing.
Nice.
Right?
She's writing the Link to the Past
Right.
entry, so
Yeah, I'm fine.
but that to me it's the best 2D Zelda and one of the best games ever made.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Link to the Past blends the best parts of 1 and 2 together because Link still has magic and there's still a town to visit, but it scales back some of the weirdness of 2, but keeps all that the overworld, the dungeons, the items, the idea of like Zoras and all that shit. It's all there and fucking starts to piece together a bit of a plot and implies that something has happened and implies that there's a history to this world.
Yeah, I thought it was insane. I like when I go back and think about the things I did in that game, like, I could never do that again.
Yeah.
There's 2 grappling hooks, a mirror world,
Yeah.
places. I can't go back and do that
Well, that's what I
again.
thought about Ocarina when I was playing it. I'm like,
Yeah?
man, there's so much in that game. How will I ever remember what to do? And it's like now that I've gone through it 2 or 3 times in the last 2 months, I'm like, no, I remember all that shit. It's not that difficult.
I'm like the Memento guy when it comes to the Dark World, because the second you get to the
Yeah.
Dark World, I forget what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
that's
fuck, I'm
like
done.
you play the first 3, you get the 3 pendants, you break the force field blocking Agenhim or whatever his name is. You
Yeah.
fight him, and they're like, to the Dark World.
Mm-hmm.
What? And then like the first dungeon in the Dark World where you fight the Helmassar King, where you get the bombs and bomb his mask off. It's a super fucking cool boss. Yeah, when you get into that dungeon, you're
Yeah,
like,
that boss is cool.
you're like, oh, okay, so this is when the game just becomes Zelda and gets really hard. And but everything about that is so fucking good. It's got that feeling of an open world game, 10 years before that fucking even happened. Even though it's really not, it's just a big overworld with predetermined shit. But at the time, it really held up.
I think it's still very,
It's
very
still-
pretty, and
It still holds up.
all those locations are unique from one another.
Like,
Like,
I
I
have
don't
no-
get as confused as I do when
Yeah.
we're looking at the original Zelda. Oh, it's a yellow place with 4 snails.
Right. Yeah. But I mean, the map, even the map it had was super helpful. Like it had that very detailed, and you could scan over it or you view it all as one screen. Just that game has no flaws. I don't even know where I would.
I can think of one flaw.
What the fuck is your problem?
That Link should not have purple hair. Purple hair is not Link's thing. And he's a
hair?
blonde. His hair's purple in that game.
He was going through a Hot Topic period.
I thought it was orange.
Looks pretty purple to me.
Yeah, it's a weird palette issue because of the Super NES had a shitload of colors though. It could
his hair could have been blonde.
it could do like 32,000 colors.
And on the
Damn it!
game-
I used to know this. It could do like 256 colors on a
256
screen at a time out of a
Mhm.
palette of like 32,000.
Compared to the Genesis, is 56.
56 colors.
In Link's Awakening, or in the color version, he was colored with blonde hair. So he does
Right.
have blonde hair.
He does.
We don't really use that term anymore.
I'm,
Henry.
I'm sorry.
Speaking of which, Link's Awakening the next, and
Oh my god, make this quick. I don't know who. I don't know.
This
There's
is
nothing
like-
bad or
I
good to
love
say
that
about
game.
it.
no, this was
Yeah?
easy. This was easy
Yeah.
for me to
Should I play
write.
it?
I actually finished Link's Awakening.
No, I mean I finished it a
multiple
long time ago.
multiple
It's just of all the Zeldas I'd want to go back and play. That's way down there.
Well,
That was the only one I ever beat multiple times and really enjoyed. It might have been the novelty of
was
the
it the Game Boy?
Yeah.
I don't know, but I really like playing these old Game Boy games on the 3DS, and that's one of the games that's not tennis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is
Did they release a new one this week?
It's tomorrow.
Tomorrow is Kirby Dreamland.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Damn.
So
Kirby is good.
So in a month, they'll be done with all the entries on our list of games they should put out on the.
But not Escape from Camp Deadly.
not
No,
happening.
it's not going to happen.
My argument for Link's Awakening, even though fuck you, no way that's ever the best Zelda, but one of the reasons you could say that is like, do you like the idea and the mechanics and the basics of Zelda, but wish it didn't have, not that it takes its lore that seriously, but you wish it just had more fun. And it wasn't so caught up in Ganon, Triforce, Hyrule Legends, Story, Legends, Hyrule, Elves, text. And it was just this weird fucking game with like a slightly smaller world that you could actually get through without a huge time investment. Like, Link's Awakening is just a little bit more accessible. It's super weird, and it's very un-Zelda-like. You get the Rock's Feather that lets you jump. Is it the cape in that one, too? There's that something
I
else?
don't remember a
Mario.
cape.
Maybe I'm thinking of something else. But like, there's no Ganon. There's like the Windfish, and there's
That's the one with Wart as the boss or something like that.
Well,
Wart's the king. In
Wart's
there.
the king.
Well, now he's like a frog king.
yeah. Well, like Ganon's shadow shows up. The final boss morphs into a bunch of things, and one of them looks like Ganon, but it's not Ganon. But it's just like, that's one of the reasons you could argue that it's the best one. It's very accessible, and it's just it's a lot more fun and silly. It's not taking itself so seriously. but it still has all those same things that make Zelda fun, and it's very highly templated off of Link to the Past. So,
and it was made by the Link to the Past team.
Yeah,
They finished
so it's
Link
a quality,
to the Past and
quality game.
I'm asking a lot of you today.
What?
Need another boost.
Can I get one too?
Now I know the pain of being Michael Raparas.
I gotta say though, that's probably I don't know, that one's really what got me into the series, because I never really played 1 or 2 on NES, and that one sort of just did it for me, where it was
That's the first one I didn't finish, ever. I was like, this black and white Game Boy is really not what the system I want to play this on.
I finished that on our summer vacation.
I really love
finished-
that.
yeah.
The one dungeon where you have to throw the spheres at the columns to like knock down the one level of the dungeon.
Yeah.
Because it's like a tower. It was such a cool idea.
Oh.
Because it was just a weird thing. I don't know.
I'm glad you're filling in the gaps here, because I don't know very much about Link's Awakening.
Yeah, I can sum it up in a 30-second song if you need me to.
Oh yes, I know every word to this.
Zelda from the very start.
I got the smarts, the hearts to play the parts, get the down, Zelda. Creeping through with an overhead view, cause a man's gotta do what a man's gotta do. So I stay on track, collect the facts, never cut slack, and I always on my back. But Jack, get the down, Zelda. Don't ask them, I'm the man with the plan. The power's in the head, and the power's in my hand. Get the down, Zelda.
They never say what.
That's the epitome. Like when that came out, I was in 7th grade and watching Channel 1 where they would pipe in the news for junior high kids, and have Lisa Ling host it and all that shit. And in the commercials, they would actually have commercials in the kids' news, and so many advertisers yes, sweet kids trapped in their desks. Oh my god, just fucking.
But then, when you did see video games in any context entered into the elementary, middle school classroom, everybody went nuts.
Yeah.
Something we care about.
Yes.
Oh my god!
But in junior high, that was in the weird point where Sega, the coolness that Sega had earned was waning. Sony hadn't stepped in to make PlayStation and gaming cool, so it was just Nintendo kind of still there. And a lot of people in junior high and early high school who were now 13, 15 still equated Nintendo with the thing they did as a kid. And anyone who was still doing it, that's when games were at their nerdiest. Yeah. For you to still like games,
baby.
You're a child, and you should be banging chicks. You should get pregnant at 16. It's awesome. And I want to have a kid who's only 10 years younger than me.
Hold my joy wand.
Nice.
And the whole time I'm like, can you guys not just hang on to your childhood for 4 fucking more years? Is it really going to kill you?
At the time, I don't know. I just wanted to spray sperm on something.
I know.
And
you have the rest of your life to do that.
Now that I've done that, man, I'm way too... I don't want to do that. That's going to be so much extra effort. And if I do that, then I'm going to be exhausted. If I do that...
And if I don't do it well enough,
I'm a single man, very attractive.
Right.
I can't fathom the thought of having to go home and sleep. Oh man, it's so much fucking effort. Am I going to have to keep this going tomorrow too?
It's all this social mean about you have to stick around if you have a kid. I mean,
yeah, exactly. What? I don't know. Johnny Appleseed.
Except Johnny Spermseed.
We had one.
That's strangely an existing character on this podcast.
It is. Sorry, keep going. Ellen. Can you move along?
But no, when that Link's Awakening commercial came on, that is the height of me being embarrassed to be a video gamer. All of Nintendo's ads in that time period were the worst ads ever, and they were hopeless.
That one's okay.
It's silly and fun, but it's if I'm trying to appear like I'm not a total loser, and I'm in a classroom with a bunch of people at that time who thought games were still stupid.
At the time, MTV shot every music video in a parking garage, so this worked perfectly.
No, it looked like something of the time, but it's just so...
And I only to this day have a couple of problems with just a few of the lyrics, which is I never cut slack. That has nothing to do with anything.
No, he's always going, man.
I always watch my back, but then he goes in creeping through with the overhead view. I'm like, there you go. Now I'm back.
Because a man's got to do.
Now I don't get it. A man's going to do what a man's going to do.
That's just because it rhymes.
He's got to bomb some dodongos. That's what he's got to do.
Yes. Move on to the next Zelda.
Next one is Ocarina of Time.
Oh!
Pretty good.
That's how big the fucking gap is.
I don't know how we feel about that game. I mean, I just can't even think of that.
Well, I did play through the whole thing for your fucking enjoyment, and that was torturous. But why it's the best is a very easy argument. Everything that we loved about 1, 2, and 3, and Awake, all of it perfectly...
You barely have to explain it if you play the 3DS version.
Perfectly
looks like a modern game now. It still works.
Perfectly translated into 3D. And the 3DS one updated the graphics and the inventory, and yes, it works perfectly fine now. It's a great game all over again. And the only reason I wouldn't say it's the best, that I wouldn't, even though if you were... If you were going to argue it, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. Because the 3DS one is a much stronger case than the 64 one at this point. But like,
Hey, listen.
yeah,
I'm sorry.
There's that. But
She doesn't ruin the game.
no, she does not. But just all like, it's hard for me to verbalize this, but like, you know, all the feelings and emotions and mental pictures you get when you think of the first Zelda. Like, oh man, it's a big open world and there's like, it's a field and I'm gonna go exploring and oh my god. But then, like everyone who played an old game, you go back and it's like, this is just a bunch of like blocks and shit. And it's really hard to recapture that sense. Ocarina was, while I'm still young, I was 17 when it came out, was the realization of the nostalgia memories I already had, and it was actually happening. It actually was a giant field to explore with a giant mountain to traverse and a giant several dungeons to actually look through and explore. Like, it was what my mind's eye saw Zelda as fucking realized, and that's how big Ocarina was for me and for the 8 million people.
I hate now, and I loved then, and had wanted to see was the night-day cycle with the
Yeah.
with the scarier enemies. Now I fucking hate killing those wolves.
Yeah, they're loud as fuck. But yeah, the night-day cycle alone, like that didn't really exist at the time in any game. And I have this too while you're at it. Groundbreaking, revolutionary game, and here's a day-night cycle. What shit changes depending on which time of the day it is.
I gotta say, I hate horses, but I love Epona.
Yeah. Happiness is petting Epona.
What a horse.
My favorite thing Tyler Nagata or Buttercup has ever written.
Just whichever. But then why it's the worst. Like, you can't argue that it's the worst, but I mean, you can argue why it's not the best. And I feel like
It looks the worst. I think even
That one.
Majora looks a little better. Or at
It's
least
much
they've
more
had a little more
distinct.
time with the fucking engine and all that stuff.
well, it's a very enhanced engine that
Yeah.
requires the expansion pack.
You stepping on my lines.
I know. Well, but
Okay, well, we got to move it along. It's going. Let's get
yes,
moving.
now we're
faster.
taking too long.
Seriously.
Okay,
Let's pretend for a second someone's not interested in Zelda.
Majora's
And 40 minutes later.
Mask.
There we go.
That was a really tough one. I wrote that entry, or will have. And it's really tough to make a good argument for it. I like Majora's Mask quite a lot because it's such a weird.
Yeah.
I love its weird feeling. Like, it's got a real dark edge to it. Like,
Right. Because
so
like Link's
much
Awakening is
death.
weird but silly.
You find so many. You find dead bodies and basically take their souls and wear them. Like,
And Link dances.
and there's constant death looming over you at any point, and like Skull Kid is probably the creepiest villain they've ever had. Like, Ganon is just evil and theatrically evil, but Skull Kid is like, well, he isn't silent, he talks, but he's just a little kid that stares at you weird wearing
he's
a
like-
strange mask.
He seems to me like Zelda's Joker. He's just completely nuts.
Yeah,
And, like, he's
yeah.
doing it for the sake
Wow.
of doing it. Like, he's not. He doesn't have a plan.
Uh-huh.
He's just like, it'd be so cool to just blow everything up.
And just having the and then having that evil looking like moon
Yeah, the
smash
fucking
to it.
moon, man.
And also, it is the best. It might be the best looking N64 game. Not that that's the
Probably is.
nicest thing. That's like the best compliment
It
in
also
the
had
world.
the Zelda Overworld theme back in the Overworld.
Oh, that's right. Which Ocarina didn't have. They
No.
brought it back for that.
And I can take Wind Waker. It's really great, and there's looks like a cartoon though. People were disappointed. Next up.
Great.
I'm
I
sorry. Hey,
I wanted to say the one reason.
Monologue, buddy.
Okay, but I do like the Termina Field is great. Like, it's such a great city. Like, because of the 3-day cycle, it's such an intricate, well-designed city with so much shit happening every single day.
Right.
It just has to repeat that 3 days in a row, and that's when it gets old. And the worst part about it, why it's the worst, is the whole point of Zelda is to explore at your own pace.
Yeah.
And to go through every dungeon on a timetable is wrong. Like, that's
Yeah.
just
Well, then-
antithetical to the series.
Yeah, that's why I eventually got fed up with it.
Yeah.
And that's why I know the least about that one. Like, I got to the Water Temple of Zelda. I had the Zora mask, and I'm like, yeah,
So this shithead kid I went to high school with,
yeah.
him and his dad went to every fucking department store and box store in the area and bought every single fucking copy of Majora's Mask. Like, he probably bought like 60 copies of the game, and then he sold them back to kids at the high school at an inflated price.
Oh my god!
Whoa!
Yep.
That game was probably already $70.
Yeah.
Man, that is cruel.
He was a real shithead.
What a great idea.
He was also he would sell his burned CDs because he had internet access
I
in like
did
99. Yeah, there
and
you
a
go.
CD burner. Sometimes those were
Ooh,
expensive.
Those
Yeah.
were not easy to find.
He
back
was
in
the cool
98.
tech dad.
Can I get a DMX and Kid Rock on the same CD?
Isn't that great? Digital technology has taken that out. That's like no longer. The last time I saw that is people lining up to get a PS3, and almost everybody I knew who did it and did do it were doing it to sell it later. Like that's all because of what
Oh,
happened
the
in
next
PS2
console-
and the
Them
Wii.
in the ass.
The next console launch, expect that to happen.
I bet
You think
that.
so?
Yeah,
Yes,
I bet that'll
absolutely
happen with the Vita. That did
I
not
don't think
happen
so.
with the 3DS.
It'll happen with the next console. For
You think
sure.
so?
Yes.
I don't
It's
think
just
so.
a part of people's brains. They can't
Yeah.
not line up and buy something and then try to sell it.
I lined up for the Wii, and that's the only time I'll ever do that.
Oh my goodness! I'm so
Yeah,
ashamed that I lined up
you're-
multiple times and didn't get one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got there at 10:30 and waited until 5 a.m. the next
Chris
Oh my
DeMello,
God.
an intern of ours, I think he got me one at a GameStop. Thank you, buddy. And yeah, no, and I got games from Tyler Wilde, who sold his Wii and never looked back.
Yeah.
That first month.
This
Yeah.
transitions nicely into the next Zelda game.
Oh,
Yep.
and actually, we skipped one.
No, we can skip some, right?
Nope.
Jesus.
At this point, we've already got almost all of them.
Four
so-
Swords?
No, I haven't even got to
Oracle
Four Swords yet.
Seasons.
Oracle of Seasons and Ages.
No, we're not doing all of them. Come on.
Then what's the point of doing it?
Can we just go faster? I guess
It's just Wind Waker. Then you just want to cut to Wind Waker.
No, Oracle of Seasons and Ages. I haven't written it yet.
Oh, Minish Cap.
Yes, that's still to come too.
Oh, great.
So it still hasn't. Because I didn't finish Link's Awakening. Like, to me, Oracle of Seasons and Ages was like, hey, we're reusing a lot of the same assets from Link's Awakening, and here we're going to spin it into 2 games to sucker your ass into buying 2 Zeldas.
I would eat that shit up for Pokemon, but with the minute Zelda did, I was like, absolutely not. Do I look like a sucker?
Yeah, but I'll buy both Pokemon.
Give me both Sapphire and Ruby.
But the thing is, they're 2 completely different games. Like, unlike Pokemon, where it's like, they're like 60% the same game. More like 75, probably.
I'd say
You probably moved up to 85 and it'd be
Okay,
acceptable.
all right, 85. Like, they're totally different games. Different dungeons, bosses, characters. Like, they're largely different games. So it was just strange to get 2 new Zeldas on the same day. It's just, I was like, I already didn't finish Link's Awakening at the time. So the idea of, like, here's 2 more was like,
But Oracle of Ages is one of like the toughest Zeldas there is. Like,
Yeah.
it has
the puzzles.
the meanest puzzles like ever.
But I liked Oracle of Seasons because it was very streamlined, like Zelda 1 style game, but with a little bit more context and direction. But why they're the best is like, no, they're not. And why they're the worst is because, but they're just like rehashed Link's Awakening sprites again, like, which was already pulling from Link to the Past. And it's like after we've already had Ocarina and we've had Majora's Mask, and now we're having 2 weird ones that are sprite pulls from the existence. It's like, what the fuck, man? You went from Ocarina to Majora's Mask, weird. Oracle, weird in the concept and execution of 2 games that talk to each other through passwords. And then now into Wind Waker in 03. Again, weird, cel-shaded, but Chris already said that's one of the best fucking games ever, and that look will never go away. It looks fucking fantastic to this. It's so, like, I forget often, and then every time I go watch it again, I'm like, no, that still looks great.
Yeah.
The emoting in his eyes and just all the little effects and the animation, it's fucking incredible.
Yeah, it's still pretty timeless. I think it might always be.
And it also has a great story, and yes, the sailing is annoying, but like, think of all the shit you guys complain about in modern games where your game crashes and corrupts your save and requires patches and all this other shit. None of that happens. Oh no, for a few hours you'll have to sail with no teleporting. Boo-hoo. That's your biggest complaint?
Yeah, that dragon boat sucks.
Yeah, like, if that's your biggest complaint, like, I direct you to this entire generation of games that fucks itself in the ass every week.
Okay, then.
That's literally, like, that's the biggest complaint. Like, then, okay, then you can get around that when you get to teleporting. Like, oh no, it didn't let me fast travel from the beginning. These are the same people who will defend Ocarina for being so timeless when it's just as rigid and boring.
One of my greatest passions is driving around aimlessly in video games, because it's an entire genre. But I can't deal with that fucking boat shit in Wind Waker.
Well, you get around it pretty quick.
Next Zelda?
Next Zelda, all of them, let's go.
I like Minish Cap.
Yeah.
It was a bit too short and too easy, but
It's really
it was
short,
fun.
but I like
I liked it. It was the hat was cool. I liked the hat a lot.
it. Hat was a great character. Eslo. Father Princess.
The whole
Ocarina.
small big thing, also like that. It was weird being small in the traditional Zelda house, because it was your Link house.
No, but Chris really wants to go, so
No, I don't want to go.
I'm done.
I don't want to go. There's just a lot of Zeldas for 50 minutes of content.
That's
And we're not. Are we done?
Yeah, we're done.
So I made you guys something. A tiny little walk through the ages of Zelda via the item treasure chest noise.
Oh, really?
I wanted to do a quiz, but I guess that could be unfair. What's that one?
Zelda 1.
I had a Zelda 1.
Zelda
The odd
2.
man out. And wait, I'm trying to go in order here.
I was gonna say if you're going in order, it's gonna be pretty clear.
Well, now it's now it's alphabetical. We can do a quiz if you really think you can do it, Elson.
This is more Zelda. I think people are getting tired of it.
Oh, come on! It's just talking about every Zelda game ever.
No, we left out several. But
Okay, we'll build you your own Zelda podcast very, very soon, sweetie.
we were just talking about how there's nothing to talk about.
I know, but I actually went and made some stuff. So like once you approach 15 minutes, once you approach 15 minutes and you get to 1997, as far as
we
Zelda
were in
series.
2003.
Okay. Let's see here.
Wind Waker?
Ooh,
Ocarina.
It is that. I guess that'll be our
WWF No Mercy.
No!
Oh man, did you see what CM like for real?
How did this happen?
CM Punk, did you see what? Oh man, CM Punk gave the fucking like promo of a lifetime this week on Raw. Like it was a total worked shoot, meaning it was supposed to sound real, but it was fake. But basically, his contract runs out in a month, and they just like sit like after he beats up John Cena. Then he just sits on the Titantron, like in front of it, like like Indian style. Just says, "You know what?
Cross-legged."
Cross-legged." He's like, "This company's stupid." And you know who's an idiot? Vince McMahon. And then he starts talking about all these specific people who are destroyed, like no one you've ever heard of. And then he starts singing "Chicago" by Sinatra, and then they cut his mic, and then he just kind of stares at the camera, and then it goes to an immediate just cut to black, and then the next USA show starts.
Sounds awkward.
You gotta see it, man. It made CM Punk like.
What Zelda was that?
That was his forever moment.
Twilight
man.
Princess.
I see.
CM Punk is, man, he is the best.
Hold tight. Zelda quiz back in effect. Back in effect. Anybody?
That's a Game Boy one. Dragon Quest 9.
Yeah, it definitely is the game. It's Link's Awakening. I don't know if it's different in DX because I never played DX. But you make me want to, Grim.
It's a good game. I like it. It's fine.
Well, I mean, I'm hoping Nintendo doesn't love themselves that much to have like 4 games representing the 3DS Virtual Console, and that be one of them, unless it was still played.
Well, when their online system fails for the new console, they're going to really have to retread this old shit, even more than usual.
There's my right sound effect. Brett, are you going to play? He's looking at Zelda in a magazine.
All right, come on.
Super Nintendo.
Yeah.
You got to give me a name.
Fucking Link to the Past.
Fine, there you go. See, that's all you had to do. Why are you making things difficult?
I know this sound.
That's Wind Waker.
Sorry, Hank. That was good. That was right. And you'll never guess what this one is, even though it.
CDI. That's Twilight Princess.
That is Twilight Princess.
How much louder is it going to get when they do in the Skyward Sword one? Like, how loud is that one going to be?
I don't know.
7.1 Dolby.
I like noticing because I just listening to all these. Ocarina was the first one where they added cymbals. Symbols. Wow. Anyway.
Ooh, you guys remember that gaffe from the Nintendo E3 2011 presentation where they asked them to play that and they didn't play the right one? Oh, man.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. We did that already. Are you making fun of our show?
No, I don't listen to this shit. How would I know any of this?
That's the spirit. Sort of.
It makes me feel good sometimes. I just come up to Matt Keast and he's listening to episodes of the show.
He's always listening to episodes of the show all the time.
It makes me feel good. It makes me feel nice.
Yes. Like
nice.
maybe your colleagues like you. I don't know. Maybe Grim. I'm saying you should listen to the show.
Remember that bit about an island? Come on.
It was nice. I was giving Genesis games and their music a bunch of shit.
They're terrible
for lack of.
Genesis music is the same fucking MIDI shit you get on PC games, so it just has this harsh audio quality that blows.
That's not totally correct. But
What? Do you know the technical reason for why Genesis music sounds the way it does?
That sounds the way it does because it's the same architecture that you were using in arcade cabinets at the time, and they made that so it would be easy to program music for. And that's why if you listen to arcade games of the late 80s, early 90s, it's the exact same sounds as Genesis.
Is it just that they had no bass? It sounds like all treble to me, if you've ever done that before.
It's definitely a technically inferior system to the Super Nintendo, which had a sound chip specifically designed by Sony.
Yeah.
But
just fuck that. The second I hear that.
This is X-Men.
This is X-Men. All right.
No, that's one of the worst examples.
We can do the Sonic Spinball options music.
That's the worst music ever.
Do you have a Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine?
But that shit's fantastic.
Yes, that's good shit.
I did a game music of the day. Yeah, this is the worst song ever made.
This is like Crazy Bus caliber.
Yes.
Let me see if I can find Michael's.
Do Mean Bean Machine versus mode.
Okay.
I did a game music of the day of it, and it's fucking insane. It's so good. But no, Genesis has...
Yeah, badass.
That's a theme, right?
Oh, there's a great overclocked version of that song. This is it. This is fucking nuts. Listen to the drums, man.
All I can imagine is somebody playing a really a really bad octopus playing a shitty keyboard. Right.
Hey, listen to all that.
Oh, there you go. And this is for a puzzle game.
Yeah, like it's just Puyo Puyo.
Yeah.
Like pieces slowly falling. I'm fuck.
Well, I thought it was slightly lovely that people came to the defense of the Genesis and its
great.
music.
It's got great
Mr.
music.
Dandy said, I'd never heard of this game, but it's an abbreviation, Musha or Leste. He was from the Mega Drive. He says Mega Drive, so it might be UK or Japanese.
How's it
game.
spelled?
Musha.
I know the game.
As an abbreviation.
I've never played it. No, it's an acronym for something.
It's an acronym?
I think so. No, Genesis has tons of great stuff.
Oh, it's an acronym because I'm saying it as a word. Here's the difference, kids.
It's just that super synthy guitar sound.
It is, but this is good. I could listen to this.
Yeah, this is fun.
I could listen to this.
It's very game music-y.
Yeah.
It is.
It's so good.
But it's wonderful. And it's what do you call that? It's inimitable on any other system, unless you intentionally tried to make it sound like that.
Yes, Genesis has the propensity for terrible music.
Yes.
But
when it makes good music,
when it has good music, it's distinctly Genesis. You're like, no other system could do that. Because there's a lot of games that were on Genesis and Super Nintendo, and most of the time the Super Nintendo version had the better version of the music. But occasionally the way the song was constructed, the abilities of the Genesis favored that song more. So when you listen to the Genesis version, it's like super way better.
I have
technically.
K.Low. He wanted to point out Thunder Force 4.
Metal Force in general is good.
Yeah,
I've never. That guy likes Street Fighter.
But this is badass. Wait, it sounds like he's breaking the law.
It has that fucking.
Listen to that shit. Yeah.
It just has that fucking distorted quality like Nintendo had.
Judas Priest and Genesis music. I love it.
Like they should tone down it's just they need to tone down the screechy noise. But see, a lot of games like say Streets of Rage, which is one of the greatest game soundtracks ever.
Right. Yeah, for sure.
Yuzo Koshiro, the composer, did not use that fucking noise. He found a way around it. So none of the songs on Streets of Rage sound like that.
I think, but
none of them.
Good about there's this small thread, but like the stuff people gave me did use the tinny electricity noise. Like and last but not least, Creative Assassin, our buddy, he gave me tons of sound effects. Combat Cars, which I haven't.
Yes.
Yeah?
It's incredible. Like there's
incredible.
like a 9-minute song in the fucking game. I think it's good.
It is good.
Yeah. It's like I'm in a cyberpunk future via 1996.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Now every song in this game, you're like, what business does this shitty game have being this good?
I might skip ahead just a little bit.
Cool, yeah.
No, it's still like a raid. It takes 3 minutes to get going.
But still, I admire how they utilize the music there. And shit, we're gonna go to break and come back and do community stuff. Well, I feel bad. I should have closed out on that song. That was really badass.
Well, I have the whole soundtrack. I can give you something.
Really? I'd love that.
Yeah.
I'm ready to do some combat.
I had to share something with you, and it's not just because I captured it and put it on the site. I'd never heard the Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure first season theme music. It is
the cartoon?
The cartoon featuring the voices of Keanu Reeves, Alex Winters, and George Carlin, it's just phenomenal. Let's have a little giggle and go to break.
I remember that cartoon.
I had been selected for a most important journey. I was to help fulfill the destiny of the two great ones, Bill and Ted. Wild stallions rule!
This guy sells.
Whenever time stands still, trouble moves too fast. To save the future, we must learn about the past.
Oh my god.
Oh wow. Wait.
Whoa!
good.
It's outrageous, so bodacious. Help is always on the
Lead singer from Tesla. Stan Bush?
It's a party, that's for sure. Bill and Ted's most excellent adventures.
Yeah.
Most triumphant.
Hi, this is Ryan McCaffrey from the official Xbox magazine's KOXM Radio. You're listening to TalkRadar.
Oh boy, it's time for some classic TalkRadar.
Okay.
You know,
who was that? Who's talking?
Oh, that's me, Henry Gilbert. I'm an intern.
Henry Gilbert is here to talk with us about an extremely distressing scenario. Where did this come from exactly?
What actually began is, I think it was you guys, like maybe Tyler and Tyler who just stepped out, and Tyler and Stephen Pierce are.
Because we go outside and a couple of us smokers just kind of bandy stuff about and stuff that really makes us laugh, and like, why can't we work that into an article? And this time, I thought we went too far, but people really liked it. What was
the scenario? Is what if a nuclear bomb went off in Superman's ass?
Yes.
And there's so many questions to ask because, well, he's nearly indestructible, we know, and he can survive bombs and artillery outside. But if a bomb like went off inside, what would happen? Are his guts as strong as his skin outside? And it turns out, yes, he would survive.
Is that true?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. There's a real litany of histories to go into, I think.
See, that's what Steven suggested, was like the actual one we should pay attention to is just the generic Superman in general. Like before you start breaking it down into all the different kinds, like Superman in general would survive. But there's a reason recently you told me, like why, like proof that he would survive.
Yeah, in a recent comic I read, specifically Justice number 5, Superman is filled. Wait.
Oh, we lost Michael.
No, keep going.
I've already fallen asleep.
No.
It's too late.
All right, well, Superman is being controlled by viruses inside his body by Brainiac, and he's got to get rid of them. His way of doing it tells Captain Marvel to throw him into the sun. So when he comes out to the other side of the sun, all the Brainiac stuff is eradicated from his body, and he is perfectly fine. His cape is even unsinged. Like he's.
Wait a minute. How does the cape isn't powered by the sun?
Well, the whole.
Are you from Krypton?
What?
Are you from Krypton? Do you know that?
Yeah, that's the bigger question. How do his clothes survive these things?
Well, there's a reason now, I think.
Yeah, they're specially made Krypton threads that are indestructible. Like they can't be destroyed either. I don't know. It's because the artist thought it would be sad to draw him with like his cape all torn up or something. But,
yeah. If they were indestructible, though, how were they cut and stitched into a garment?
Well, they were. They kind of just. Oh wait.
No, you've undone my existence.
Well, okay. In the Fortress of Solitude, he has special Kryptonian sewing machines that can put its suit together.
He's sitting there with the needles in his mouth and foot pedal, just like, God damn Reds.
I've only seen the first two Superman movies, and I don't know why he just doesn't solve every problem by throwing his logo at it.
It can go through anything. Yeah.
Superman really is a dumb superhero.
Well, yeah, he's impossible to write. Like his stories, like aside from his origin stories, all his other stories are just him being attacked by kryptonite constantly or some magic thing. Like because he's like
that's what you told me. He's only susceptible to kryptonite and magic, and the way you said it so seriously, and magic. Like voodoo.
Yeah, that is magic. Yeah.
Oh,
Magic
wait, here's
the
something.
Gathering. Is that his weakness?
He's annoyed at that. It doesn't actually physical harm, but it's emotional stress.
Yeah.
So here's the question: the Marvel versus DC. Marvel, what? Mortal Kombat versus DC game that's coming out.
I had a big old geek bone.
So we're talking about how they're going to weaken people like Superman and Flash to actually make them fight the Mortal Kombat characters. Yeah. And we actually got to saying, would actually Sub-Zero and Scorpion damage him because Scorpion is a Spectre from hell, I would assume, and then Sub-Zero is his magic ice? Is his ice magic, or is it a power? Like, would that get around it? Would that get around his invulnerability?
Well, in the comics, like...
I'll leave that to Henry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Well, in the comics, like, people can magically create things, but they still have the properties of those things. Like, you can create fire magically, but it's still fire. While Scorpion has hellfire that, like, is from hell, and that's magic. But Scorpion magically creates just technically, scientifically real ice. So it's not like I can only do the stuff ice does.
Right.
Which would be nothing to Superman. So
I'm on board with this. Those two look bored
It's
out
not
of
that I'm not on board with this, because I honestly love these conversations that come out of justifying Midway's terrible idea.
Well, I would say in the game, I've seen those pictures where, like, somebody is punching Superman and blood comes out. And so if that can happen, then probably ice would hurt him.
What makes Superman bleed? How do you cut that motherfucker?
Nothing. Well, so after Infinite Crisis,
Oh no!
they have an editorial edict that says Superman cannot bleed, period. He does not bleed.
But he bled in the death of Superman.
That was pre-Infinite Crisis.
Oh, Infinite Crisis. I thought you
Yeah.
said Crisis on Infinite Earth.
It's
No,
infinite.
I know.
The
No.
crisis never ends. This isn't a time crisis.
Stop making that face.
No, well, at that time that explained that Superman was actually covered by, like, an impenetrable force field around his body, which explained why his clothes couldn't be damaged. So actually then...
Actually.
If you put his nuke up his butt, then you would also have to wonder where the invisible force field ended. Because if you could get it up his butt, then that would mean the inside of him is technically vulnerable. So that might actually damage him some.
Oh.
Yeah, I guess, the force field couldn't protect his butt because we assume it doesn't protect his mouth or his nose.
Yeah, he can get food inside.
But does he even need to eat?
Well, that's another thing, too. That's
Yeah, does he need to eat? Does he need to wear rubber?
Well, it's been said before that Superman doesn't have to use the bathroom because he technically doesn't have to eat. He takes the sun, not just for his superpowers.
Then does he even have an asshole? Why would he have an asshole?
Well, before, when he was
not
on Krypton, he was normal. He had to be eating and shitting.
Sir, look, if I didn't have to eat...
Sir, I find this question preposterous.
If I didn't have to eat and I'm living on Krypton around all those sharp and phallic objects, there's no way I'm evolving to my own asshole.
Well, now Kryptonians are
slippery.
Well, look, we all know he has an asshole because in Infinite Earth Crisis, he had to pose for that website.
Nah, Kryptonians are just like us. They have to eat and poop. They're under a red sun, that's all.
So if I went under a red sun, could I have a nuke in my ass?
Is mortal man's human toilet paper effective on Superman?
No, I mean, it's just like a bullet. If bullets just get wiped past them, like...
Yeah, but can they scrape chunks of poo off his inner hiney hole?
I don't know, you see...
Well, he should be able to bypass his own force field, shouldn't he? Or if he's like,
yeah,
what about that?
No.
No.
I wonder how many people just clicked unsubscribe in iTunes right now.
Hey, does anybody want to listen to the rest of this motherfucking podcast? Yeah!
TalkRadar, why is it 62?
Yeah.
Segment 1.
162.
It was
Segment 2.
Hank's first appearance, you heard there, a callback to classic.
Yeah.
TalkRadar. What happened there?
What
the fuck happened? We had a series of what if articles?
I think it was meant to be the first of a series, but then it was
We did one
just
more.
the
What was
only
the other one?
I don't remember.
Come on, you wrote it.
I wrote the Superman one, but I don't
I
know
don't
about the other one.
There was one more.
I feel like there was only that one.
One is we just had some dumb conversation about what would happen if nuclear bomb went off inside of Superman's ass. Like, would it actually hurt him? Blah, like, is it his skin that's invulnerable, or his insides invulnerable? What's going on? So I actually, at the time, in 2008, in June, texted my friend and asked him, like, legitimately, and without missing a beat, he replies, like, no, it'd have to be like some kind of super bomb or super crazy, like a specific kind of bomb. Otherwise, it would not hurt him.
Henry, our new guy, also we had to have him come on and verify things.
Yeah, I was still an intern at the time. Actually, this was back when Grim and I were both interns, living living similar but separate lives, never meeting each other.
It's true. I never even really met you until after I came back.
Yeah, but
there it is.
But yeah, so I was, even though I was an intern, I was slowly, people were slowly coming to realize that I was a giant comic nerd, and so I was asked to appear on the podcast to answer a lot of questions. It turned out about superheroes and Superman and the Flash.
Well,
and
you
all this
informed me
shit.
like Superman is vulnerable to only kryptonite and magic, and I lost my mind at the notion of like the magic. What kind of magic? Well, every kind of magic.
Yeah,
Voodoo, what have you. Houdini could bring Superman into his knees.
It's like
sleight of hand. Superman has no fucking defense against.
But they've got rid of that, I think, didn't they?
They still kind of stick with it. Right now, they're almost at basically the same status quo they had in like 1959. Like he's the strongest thing, unbreakable skin.
Yeah, because it used to be he had a force field around him that was like skin tight, and that's what was protecting him.
Well, after reordering things in 1985,
he had an uberdermis.
Well, yeah, he was obviously way too powerful by 1985. Like you couldn't do any stories, so they grossly underpowered him. Like he needed to breathe in space, like so he couldn't just fly in space and not breathe. And also they just said he had an unbreakable aura around him that eventually, if you tired him out to such a crazy degree like Doomsday did, the aura would break down and you would be able to break his skin, which was normal skin. Now basically,
and he could get pregnant.
Since a few reboots, he's basically gotten back to just he's an unbreakable, like his skin is diamond, harder than diamond.
He's Bruce Willis and
more unbreakable than
Okay.
Bruce Willis.
So, as a greenhorn, does he have the regular organ set of a human being?
Well, Kryptonians are fairly similar to human. And,
I mean, they might look similar on the outside, but I mean, are we talking this guy's got a long,
he's
two
got all
lungs?
that.
Yeah, this
He's
guy's
got
over here
lungs,
photosynthesizing. Hey, gotta watch out for that.
As far as I can remember, yeah, Kryptonians are exactly the same. Because, like, when he was a baby growing up, like, if he got x-rayed or checked out by the doctor, they would have been like, it sounds like you have 3 hearts in there.
True.
What the?
Also, he would have died immediately because of all the foreign bacteria.
Yeah, that too.
Like War of the
What if he
Worlds?
like really hit the bottle real hard and needed a new liver? Could he accept a human liver?
How dry he is.
No,
They couldn't cut his skin to give him the liver.
Yeah, fuck.
Yeah, that's
there
true.
it is.
Well,
Wait, how did they do surgery on Superman?
Well, they could use orange. They could use red sun lamps, like red sun. And he powers him.
Like what keeps my burgers warm at McDonald's?
Yeah, the same.
Is that covered under Kaiser?
Well, I mean, Batman's got red sun technology. Well, also, Superman's Fortress of Solitude has tons of technology for this kind of stuff.
It does.
To fix himself. And Superman shaves just by using a mirror and blasting himself with heat vision in the face.
He does?
Yeah, that's how he shaves.
So he cauterizes his face every morning.
I know, that's how he gets hair off.
That's fucking awesome.
Because his hair is tough, but not unbreakable, I guess, unlike his skin.
Oh, I told
Has
you.
he ever had a beard?
Yeah, I've seen him grow a beard. Yeah,
That'd be sweet.
There was a pretty funny story. Well, not funny. It was a really great story where he caught space flu basically and went crazy. And
this is part of Super Friends.
And
I gotta read.
And his powers were screwed up, and then he drives down to the south to die in secret, and then he's saved.
What is an alligator farmer?
He's saved by Swamp Thing, and Swamp Thing hugs him until he feels better.
Oh my god!
It sounds lamer than it was an Alan Moore story. That's why I read
I was
it.
going to say Alan Moore in the 80s. It has to be Swamp Thing in there somewhere.
Yeah.
Can Superman grow a beard in space?
Yeah, he's totally grown
That's
a beard.
amazing.
There needs to be like a subheader in like the Superman wiki entry that's just dumb shit, and I would read that and include all
There's
of
so
the.
much dumb shit.
You missed out on me bugging Henry about Green Lantern before we went to go see it, but just that he's harmed by wood in the color yellow.
Yeah.
Like a child's novelty bat you could take down the Green Lantern. He'd be powerless.
Yes,
Powerless.
Well, one Green Lantern would, and the other would be yellow.
And the other's blue.
I've never understood the concept behind Green Lantern. I think that's why the movie didn't do so well. It's too high concept.
It's too big to.
It's imagination,
understand.
but limited within color.
Really liked it.
Well, they took out the yellow power thing in the movie.
But the thing we were talking about today was Superman that brought this up and why it was
Were
funny.
there updates?
The update was that Superman now is that strong, and then we started talking about, well, Henry said his bit now is that he Doesn't have an aura. He's now just the like hyper dense mass that like he's the densest, toughest object on the planet.
So he weighs 2,000 pounds.
And I was like, so should he have his own gravitational pull?
I was going to ask that.
And then he's like, you shouldn't think about it that hard. And I agree. Like, I agree. It's, as a joke, it just doesn't make any fucking sense anyway, so who cares? Sure, he's super dense. Got it. He doesn't sink into the ground when he takes a step. Fine.
Well, he can fly. So
right, he can fly, but he can fly because he's so strong. He can escape the gravitational pull of the Earth. But then we were talking about, like, if he's hyper dense, you were talking about, like, Power Woman and
Power Girl.
Power Girl, excuse me.
Well, no, Power Girl's famous for having big tits.
She's got she's got stupid, like, porno fake tits.
Now attack it.
Yoing.
But he was saying, like, if they're hyper dense, shouldn't they, like, be heavy? And she could move them because she's made of the same mass.
But if you were trying to have sex with her, they'd be like, no give. Like,
yeah.
That is weird because gravity is the enemy of the tit. It will eventually bring it down.
Yes.
Well, so if you can make your own gravity on your...
But then I thought, Superman's limp dick, if it tries to go up, like, is his blood rushing in enough?
Can he change the tides?
Aren't his internal pressures enough to overcome the denseness?
The denseness of his dick. Like, I hear it's very dense.
But he's got such strong muscles. Like, his muscles can move the dick.
This is the conversation I wanted to have.
Like, his blood would have to be like 7,000 psi just to even pump through his dense veins.
Yeah.
I didn't want it to result in this conversation purely about Superman's dick. But have there been any updates to Superman's dick?
No, not really. I mean, he's going
to be soon unmarried to Lois Lane.
It seems like it.
Could he fuck the sun?
Well, I mean, he could fly. He's flown through the sun before.
Well, yeah.
He takes a sun dip, as they call it.
He took a spin through the sun.
Yeah, he's flown through the sun.
Has it ever been heavily implied that he's actually fucked someone, or is it always just super chase?
Ever since he's been, like, even before he married Lois Lane, he's been fucking her.
Okay.
He was making love.
Damn. Superman does not fuck. He caresses.
Yes. He was shooting whoopee at her.
They imply that through, like, training and meditation, Superman learned how to be able to have sex with a human and not
Kryptonian tantric techniques.
It's like that Promethea comic in the whole episode where it's just tantric fucking. So
man,
the whole issue
what a
comic.
weird comic. Yeah, you got to finish that, man.
Yeah.
Well, anyway,
I see.
That was written by Alan Moore too.
Yep. Superman's dick.
Oh, Superman's dick about his ass.
Yes.
Is it any more susceptible to a nuclear bomb?
No, it's even less so. Like,
really? Really?
So,
but that's like
they're doing a reboot soon.
That's what I don't understand. Like his internal organs, man. Like I just don't get. Like if you could have him swallow a bomb and it goes off inside him, it would really have no effect.
No, I've seen him do that before. I've seen him.
But this is a nuclear bomb
in person.
I've seen him inhale nerve gas, and it does nothing to it.
Fission.
Right, but nerve gas is like a gas. This is like concussive force and fire and shrapnel. And I'm like, I can't get around. And a nuclear bomb going off inside of him. Like if he somehow took the warhead and they shrank it and then he ate it.
It would have to come out of his mouth. There's no way you could just hold it.
He would have to still expend the pressure. Like it has to go somewhere.
Right?
And since
he
it can't
absorb
push
that.
him out, it's going to have to just come right back out of his mouth. So
and I will not
vomit
But no, wait, this is a
nuclear
movable object, irresistible force thing where it's like he's so strong he can keep his mouth shut. But
he really closes his
mouth. It would have to go somewhere, though.
But that bomb's got to come out.
Come out his nose then?
Yeah, I don't want
there you go.
There you go.
I don't want to see him become like Yosemite Sam and have his stomach rise up.
No, you screwy Lex Luthor.
It still wouldn't move. His intestines are still as strong as the rest of him. So
but does he have like physical control of his intestines? Like my duodenum is completely solid right now.
Well, no,
I think you're right. It would like fly out of his nose because you can't like close your nasal cavity.
Yeah, it would just fly out.
It would come out of his asshole. He would look like that one of my favorite Garbage Pail Kids.
Ducts it would fly out of.
Yeah, man, this is a great visual. We need a fan artist to confirm this for us.
Indeed.
But he'd still be fine. His stuff all his internal stuff could take that.
All his internal stuff? Are you playing coy for a reason?
No, I'm not a doctor.
Okay, I see.
I'm not a doctor, damn it. I'm Henry Gilbert.
Hearts, lungs, what the fuck else is there?
I don't know. I thought we were talking mostly about butts.
I feel like there's a lot of shit in there.
No, I mean, his butt would be fine. Like he'd be
So, but he can digest like a normal person anyway, so he doesn't have a clogged colon.
I don't think he needs to eat.
I probably
He doesn't need to eat?
I talked about this, and I think in the original clip.
I'm
but
sorry.
yeah,
He
it's
has
sorry.
a full digestive tract.
It's
Well, no, that
atrophied
he's-
somehow.
Since he's powered by the sun, it's implied that he doesn't even need to eat because he's got the sun powering him up. And
See,
He
now you're getting into...
I've seen him. No, I've seen him eat food. I think he just does it to be
normal.
to
Why
be
would
normal.
they have a digestive tract if they were powered by...
Because on their
Why
planet,
would he have an asshole?
Their planet, they're normal, but when they're under the yellow sun,
They're
on
Earth.
Earth, they are Superman.
But I like your atrophied point, though. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Like,
if he's not using it. But again, he's constantly being rejuvenated by the sun, so
He just
nothing's
ordered-
atrophied.
So he's just Ed Begley Jr.'s car, like all the time.
Probably, if
And-
anyone knew what that joke was.
I see.
he orders a couple double QCPs at McDonald's every week and just puts
Absolutely,
them down just to
it
keep
would have no
himself
effect. It would have no effect.
Because there have been stories where he flies through space for like months and he's fine. like he doesn't.
He's
Even if
probably my most hated character. of the
Even if he's
entire
flying at
comic
the
universe.
speed of light, it's still going to take him years to get anywhere
Yes.
else. And it's just like, I don't want to bring space travel logistics into
Did
this.
we bring
but-
this up before and how somebody... Like, the picture I have is Cyrax, and this was brought up by DC... MK versus DC Universe.
Yeah,
and
what if Cyrax put a bomb in his
were we
butt?
ever so young?
Yeah, how would you be able to get soups down in order to insert the bomb?
Well, in that case,
Inside.
the magic of Outworld
The magic.
was
Magic of Outworld. Yeah.
I
was
see.
affecting him. And Sub-Zero, it's like it's never. Yeah, we talked about this last time. It was never clear.
My bad.
It was never clear if he creates ice through magic or creates magic ice.
Just cools the...
But is the ice itself normal ice, or is it ice with
Yeah.
magical properties?
What if he's like
gonna
the
have to
most
email
famous
Ed
ice
Boon.
hero, Frozone, and freezes the atmosphere around him?
Frozone.
What?
But that's a science fiction power, though. It's not magic like Sub-Zero.
I see what you're
has.
saying.
Sub-Zero. I mean, it's like
So Scorpion's rope.
Well,
Is that
it's-
magic?
Well, he's
Well,
clearly a
Scorpion-
demon.
As
like
a
hell
demon, I don't know that really
That's
falls into
hellfire.
magic.
Yeah.
I
that
don't
does
think
that would have no effect.
That's
But
written by
like-
the Bible didn't even know magic existed.
Isn't he somewhat susceptible to electricity, or am I just making
No,
that up?
he's fine.
All right.
Like he can just walk through electricity.
Oh wait, no.
He'll never die like Jason in Friday the 13th Part 8
Damn, I
on
didn't
the
see
subway
that.
tracks.
Right.
It was a sad ending for Jason. I really didn't like it.
I should watch ending of part 7 with that house.
Oh,
blows up.
did you,
7 is
you
great.
hear the rumor?
What's that?
What's the rumor?
Freddie and Jason DLC from Mortal Kombat.
No,
Bullshit.
that's can't
Bullshit.
Be true.
Someone called him out in a stream, one of the NetherRealm guys, and he totally just up and ghosted, didn't say shit, just bounced as soon as the guy mentioned it. And it was
Oh,
Well, every rumor I've heard regarding Mortal Kombat has come true. Every single one.
Yeah,
Yeah,
wait,
Every single one.
That's
like,
like
it makes a lot of sense.
That's
that'd
like
be
a
perfect.
that's a full stop. Who wants to play fucking Mortal Kombat?
Fuck! Warner Brothers owns
Yeah,
those
Warner
characters.
Brothers owns those two.
There you
They
go.
own those characters via their acquisition of New Line Cinema.
Yeah.
Those are their characters.
Holy
That's
I had that thought at the
have to
exact same
leave.
time as you.
I have to leave. That's really cool.
No, think about what time of the year it is. That's fucking Halloween.
Ah!
That's Halloween.
No!
They'll announce it at Comic Con, I bet.
That's got to because
They'll
they
announce
said
it-
they have an annouement.
They'll announcement at, I was gonna say Comic Con or PAX because they're both before
PAX.
Halloween.
Yeah.
Too much.
Wow.
Man,
Hey.
That made me really fucking excited.
exclusive. Yeah.
That made me really excited. I really want to pinball Jason around the inside of my own brain. Is that how it
I'll be
happened?
playing,
yeah,
I'll be
right,
playing
yeah.
as Jason.
I remember that sound effect when he. That was
That's
pretty
a great.
cool.
I only saw the movie once, but in my mind, it was exactly what I wanted.
Exactly. I really wanted a member of Destiny's Child to call Freddy Krueger a faggot. That is exactly what I wanted to happen.
Kelly Rowland.
Yes. I don't remember. I
Yes,
do not
it
remember.
wasn't Beyonce
But it did
anyway.
happen. It did
Thank you.
happen. The whole audience is on her side. You're right. He's so gay. Oh my god. Oh my
No
god.
way.
Good girl.
Freddie likes girls, man.
Yes, when they're 8.
Nah, he's tortured women before.
Did anybody see the new Friday the 13th movie?
No.
The remake.
Yeah, the remake.
No.
I mean, I was excited about the person they cast as Krueger, but nothing else.
Oh wait.
Wait.
So you said Friday the 13th.
My bad. What's the
Nightmare on Elm
Nightmare
Street.
on
Elm Street Nightmares?
They Rorschach.
Rorschach. Yes.
It sounded good at doing it, but it just seemed lame to me. I read what the big twist was, and I did not like it.
Oh, don't tell me.
No, what's the twist, Henry? I want to know because I'm
Okay.
never gonna care
Well,
about that.
it's a double fake out twist.
If you don't want any spoilers for the really old and unpopular Nightmare on Elm Street remake,
Remake.
stop listening.
The main character kids in the film feel bad because Freddy was killed because they lied to their parents and said Freddy tried to molest them when he hadn't actually done it. And so it seems like Freddy's out for righteous revenge the whole movie. And at the end of the film, they found out that their lie was actually true, and Freddy was.
God.
Wow. The lie was true. Where's my dramatic set?
What? So, like, how long into the movie do they say, oh,
how long do they confirm the truth is true?
I think it's like the end of the film, not end of the film, but like the third act reveal is that. Is that twist that, no, you shouldn't feel bad for Freddy. He was a child murderer. Like,
molester.
But when does the first twist happen?
Yeah, murderer, okay. Molester, no way.
Oh my God.
Not in this country.
Oh my God. We had a conversation in the car. God, it went so many great places because I write a stupid site about cartoons. We were talking about the Supreme Court decision. I happen to, like, what I've always wanted to do on my stupid cartoon site. Listeners, I'm not asking anybody in here. Have you ever been to a porn site and seen Ned Flanders fucking Marge?
Yes.
Or Brian the Dog? Or Scooby-Doo fucking... Like, I just want to catalog all of those. But, like, the Supreme Court decision on the ESRB, the games thing, is that porn is the only thing that's regulated by the government, where you get in trouble if you sell pornography to someone under 18, where you need to be carded. That's not self-regulated. Would I have to self-regulate my site? And then it went into why do all those cartoons always have incest involved?
Yep.
Why?
Because there's only so many characters.
Why is Peter Griffin always fucking Meg though? But there's plenty of other characters. Like
right, but
Meg's not famous.
I don't know. I saw one of Ned Flanders fucking Marge.
Yeah, I've seen one of Bart fucking Marge.
Yeah.
Like, why does that always? And I know
they draw Bart like he's a strapping 17-year-old.
It's to grab your attention, and then we were like, well,
strapping. Don't use that word.
And we said something about Homer fucking Maggie, and like,
and
then we realized we didn't have a term for that kind of sexual behavior. Until
Infantophilia?
No, I got it.
Babality.
Excellent.
Oh,
Excellent.
Thank
that was
you.
a long lead up.
Thank you. Yes.
Good zing.
Yes.
So Mortal Kombat.
Mortal Kombat.
Man, who's clicking on those links when they're looking like
I came here for regular porn.
As a cartoon nerd, I have a journalistic duty to figure out where they're coming from, how
That's
they make
like
money,
the first
if they
thing-
exist.
Like when I got internet, I bought a 14.4 modem, dial up, I'm online, porn. Why are Bart and Lisa making out? Like it was that fast in 1996.
And
like,
I can't imagine bigger Simpsons fans than Brett or myself.
Yes, and in 96 that was
Henry.
like in 96 that was literally like seeing your own relatives making
I went
out.
to the
It's like, what are you
Museum of Sex, and this was on Reddit like the other day, and it's like all the Disney characters fucking one another. It was this huge controversy. It was made in the 60s. Like somebody had the audacity to publish pictures of cartoon characters fornicating. My lord, oh good lord, and like it's that old, like that appeal. It's just it's an attention getter.
Did I send you that link of where the Little Mermaid jumps up on the rock?
It's the Wild Thornberry
with Nigel Thornberry's face on it.
Nigel Thornberry. It represented like I love Mike Grimm, but this is our age barrier. He thinks I know about wild thornberries.
Oh my god, yeah, I don't know jack shit about that.
He's funny. It's Tim Curry.
I know. I saw the movie, not where they combine with the Rugrats, but the other one.
Yeah, boy.
Fuck. What were we?
No, that's what he does.
Yeah.
Thornberrys is one of those shows that I just saw the art style and I'm like, that's disgusting.
It's no worse.
I was telling Charlie about that.
No, Rugrats is one of the ugliest cartoons.
But it is
ever.
Rugrats,
Okay,
and they did the
yeah.
first season of The Simpsons. Can you remember that? What's her name?
Klasky Chupo.
Yeah.
Oh,
First season of
right.
The Simpsons. They hated one another and
Yeah.
parted ways. And like, if you watch the first season of The Simpsons and wonder why Bart's footsteps make sounds
Clop,
everywhere he
clop,
goes,
clop, clop.
clop, clop,
Now, one of the
clop.
funniest commentaries of all time is the on the first season DVD, which honestly, the Simpsons first season you never need to watch except for historical purposes. But they have an extra
Albert Brooks episode and Babysitter episode.
I love
Okay.
you, Bart.
But in the first,
I love you too, Dad.
Bart, I hope you've learned your lesson.
well, actually, I did.
Yeah, Dad. Oh, Homer,
I think
we're
that-
such a terrible family.
Our dino will be okay.
I know. Doing my
I
best
think
Walter
the joke in the
Matthau.
camping episode where they slingshot the
Henry.
rabbit is one of the funniest things they've done. Though.
Oh yeah,
But anyway,
that fucking.
one of the
show.
extras is
I'm Dr. Marvin Monroe.
one of the extras is the original version of what would have been their first episode, which actually ended up being the season finale of The Babysitter Bandit. And it was when they got back the first star from Klasky Chupo. It looked so shit, but they were really proud of it. While James L. Brooks, like everyone else was in the room, was just silent and didn't know what to say. And then James L. Brooks who quotes himself on the commentary, says, "This is shit." And then Gabor Chupo says to him, like, "What is shit? Like, what do you mean?" And he's like,
"Oh my god,
a foul substance that turns everyone off."
It's crazy. It's
and then like in the commentary, like they're all just like moaning, like, "God, how could the series ever look like this?" And then James L. Brooks, actually, you hear him put down his earphones and close the door, like, and just leave. Like, he can't stand to look at it.
They did such a bad job, and everything was so delayed. The first episode ended up being the 7th episode. Which is the Christmas special,
yeah.
which was not supposed to be a Christmas special, which was supposed to be aired as the 7th episode after it aired in September and couldn't because it was the Rugrats people were busy ruining The Simpsons.
That's why
crazy.
That's why
Crazy.
I think one of their weirdest episodes is Babysitter Bandit, because they still mix in some of the original animation, which looks like the most primitive The Simpsons series ever looked, but then also it's got new animation in it that looks almost on the level of season 2. Like, it's such a weird... Watch the Babysitter Bandit one, you'll see.
I like them. I mean, the Rugrats shit and the Thornberry shit is fine.
I'm fine with Rugrats.
But yeah.
Man,
I'm fine with
the
Rugrats.
contrarian dude out the window is like, Rugrats, yeah, go for it.
You know why?
bad show.
They grew up with it.
Yeah, I grew up with it, and I
did too.
I was 10 when I was...
Yeah.
I just want to mention this. I don't want a discussion. I just want a nod from somebody. Please, Nickelodeon Spartacus. No one remembers this.
Spartacus?
That's why I have a cartoon site right
Samurai
now.
Jack?
Spartacus. No, it was a French cartoon with a theme song by Menudo. It was horribly beautiful.
Yeah.
It was incredible.
Sorry,
Anyway,
when they released Doug, Rugrats, and Ren and Stimpy on the same day, it was like, I'm going with Ren and Stimpy.
Can you
on this
believe
one.
that? Like those were both.
Yeah,
they
they're all
released
great.
3 shows.
No, they were all actually pretty good.
Fox releases 900 shows every August.
Yeah.
All 3 of those shows have lasted forever. Like the love for those shows have lasted forever. Like
No,
those are all timeless
I
shows.
enjoyed Rugrats. It just, I think it's an ugly show. And Doug is just as ugly.
Yeah.
This guy's blue. Why?
Because he's black. That's why.
Like Patty Mayonnaise is yellow or pink or whatever the
tan.
I give Rugrats credit. They did the best Hanukkah special you've
They
ever
did.
seen.
I was telling Diana
that.
that.
Is the fucking best.
I don't
Everything
like
about
Doug's
that is great.
love interest being a redneck lesbian. That's not
Patty Mayonnaise?
Yeah, I can never get over that.
Well, she's like, a riot, like late 90s
Like
riot
just,
girl.
she had no interest in men whatsoever.
Right.
Like I hated poor Doug. That's all I'm saying. Poor Doug. Go put the belt in your head.
That's a good show.
I just remember the Durango Doug episode.
Durango
Doug.
He drinks unsweetened Kool-Aid or something. Unsweetened punch. That's what he drinks.
Hanging on a trash can.
There's so many fucking great songs. Anyway.
Wow,
Doug
where
is
did we
great.
get it? Can you stick around? Do you need to run?
Hurry.
You need to run.
Well, I needed to write the fucking feature that I was trying to talk about.
He just relayed.
That feature that we posted.
Just get one of those
yesterday.
sound to text things, voice to text programs.
I think I just did it for you. That'll be how my time travel machine sounds. Yes. We have.
Take my advice, do
I know
as I say. Save a little money for a rainy day.
I'm currently looking them up.
Well, so it's apparently not that. It wasn't that good of a game, but
Witcher 2 Assassins of King's Premium Edition, $36 on Amazon with free shipping.
I'd buy that.
on
I wanna play
Xbox, on Xbox Live Arcade, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles in Time reshelled.
Oh, sweet!
It's $5.
That game fucking blows.
But if you fail to buy it, I think by the end of summer, it's going to be taken off Xbox Live. Like they ran out of their deal.
Yeah, you know why they're taking it off? Because it's shit.
Probably not. Hi, Tyler.
Well, Warcraft is free to level 20 in Team Fortress 2.
Yes,
crazy.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Correct. World of Warcraft, Team Fortress 2
Tyler just
free.
walked out of the room like he was fucking Elvis.
He just dropped the mic. He
Yeah,
was
by
like,
the way,
yo.
PC games out.
Hey, Witcher 2.
Out.
Witcher 2. You know what we give Witcher 2, Chris?
What?
Guess what?
A
score?
10.
Yeah, out of a possible
Is that your pseudonym?
10.
Who wrote that?
Nah, that was a Jordan Ball.
Your PSN welcome back packages are currently expiring.
Yep. Infamous is good. I like Infamous. I'd never played it, but I got on the free package. It's fun. It's good.
Oh, wait, look at this. I'm seeing on Xbox Live right now that it's a mutant-themed week. So, yes, $5 for Ninja Turtles. Lara Croft and the Guardian Light is also 50% off.
Pretty fun if you play co-op. I
love
gotta
it.
say, that game is good.
X-Men Arcade is 50% off. Comic Jumper is 50% off. And Hardcore Uprising is 50% off.
Comic Jumper is kind of shit.
On Xbox Live.
Yeah, I really wanted to like Comic Jumper. I really did.
I like it because it's part of Twisted Pixel series. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know. I give it a pass.
I love the Maw and Splosion Man were great. Two of my favorite downloadable games.
How about this? Vanquish 1999 on
That game
Newegg.
fucking rules.
Yeah,
Buy
Newegg, free
Vanquish
shipping.
now. It's lots of fun.
Free
Definitely worth
shipping,
$20.
Should we wrap up game deals?
Yeah,
We gave away a bunch of Uncharted betas. You
Be
missed
on the
that,
lookout
huh?
for Shadows of the Damned on sale.
You think so?
Soon
Yeah,
enough.
it's going to tank.
You think so?
Yep.
Yeah, I have a feeling.
And Super Street Fighter Arcade Edition for like $35. Michael said,
If you want an intentionally broken fighting game,
Yes. If you want to lose to Yuns online all day long.
Is that bad? I guess you can't. You can only alter the same game so many times.
well, by
People
Yoshi
don't care.
Ono's own admission, it's an intentionally unbalanced game.
Yeah.
It's
more fun that way when it's wacky, right, guys?
Now I know why you're getting into Infamous is to get ready for Street Fighter versus Tekken
On the Vita.
to play with.
Which I
play as
played
Cole.
last night. I played a little bit of that game.
It's a
Did
fun
you
game.
really?
It's fun. Yeah. It's cross Tekken. It's pretty
There's a
good.
lot of weird shit that Seth showed me at E3 I didn't really get to write a preview about, but like there's a lot of like simple, like you can just do punch like in a row
Yeah.
and it's a launch combo.
Yeah,
like,
the Fierce and the Roundhouse. Yeah. I was. It was funny because I think I mentioned to you, but I was just playing last night, and I was playing against other games, a bunch of game journalists who aren't necessarily very good at fighting games. So
not many are.
They're just sort of sitting there like doing that, and then someone who knew what they were doing showed up, and I was just like, "Hey, so tell me what you're doing." And it turns out he was the performer for the night, Red Rapper.
Red Rapper.
Red Rapper, yes, he reps the best.
The Red Hot Rapper.
He's a cool guy.
Yeah. He sounds like it. I don't think my mother would like him.
He did a nice little performance.
What do we usually do? Question of the week?
Question of the week.
We didn't read any responses. I don't remember what the last question of the week
What
was.
would Jesus do? That's
I've
the
looked
question of
up
the week.
some responses on my
What was the
trusty
last week's question of the
Windows
week?
Phone 7.
I forgot it.
Henry Gilbert, the only man on earth who owns a Windows Phone 7.
Windows Phone 7 just got Angry Birds this week.
Yeah!
Yes!
Yeah!
I think I just got my 6th free update to Angry Birds. They're in the summer now.
The question of last week
I
was
forgot about the season.
what E3 no-show bothered you the most?
We already said it right.
Mother 3.
We already
I mean,
did.
4.
Mother 4.
Nah, Mother 3 should get transported.
Was it like
too.
10 years running?
I don't know.
Every year.
Every year.
That's
So-
the answer.
It was a lot of people said the same things, like Metal Gear Solid Rising, Last Guardian, anything from Rockstar. I remember Chris Cultista had one of the strangest answers, which was Warhammer 40K Dark Millennium.
It wasn't there?
Yeah, he's not satisfied with Space Marine.
You and your brother are big fans, right?
My little brother has a full sleeve tattoo of a Slanesh demoness on his fucking arm, and he goes to tournaments all the time.
Tyler Nagata is back!
That was there, but they only showed a trailer.
No!
A reading
Oh, that's good.
But there was a badass Space Marine drop pod.
Nice. Thank you, Tyler.
Tyler, there's an
PC
open
Gaming.
microphone.
PC Gaming. Thank you, Tyler. Got it.
You running here? There's no. There
I don't know,
you
maybe-
go.
Okay,
There
I
you
was
go.
gonna Say
Scoot
maybe
down.
Brett needs to tag out. Perhaps.
Did you discuss this last
Yeah,
week?
I'll
Was
tag
there,
out, actually.
was there an E3 no show that you were sad about?
Bye, Brett.
I'll give you the gong if you're really good.
Oh, I was really hoping to see Dark Millennium too. That's
Too bad. Hank, did anybody else say anything?
You got two
yeah.
PC gamers in this podcast right now. So
Yeah!
Get ready, Tina.
I'm thinking about
Excuse
Panzer
me.
DS.
Panzer DDS. He said Project Draco, which seems like a spiritual sequel to the Panzer
Oh,
Dragoon
the
series.
Malfoy only Harry Potter game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
oh, I bet that has horrible frames per second.
Yeah, I bet.
Like
console
muddy
gamers.
resolutions and low
Look at the
definitions
anti-aliasing and the fucking glitchiness of the shadows.
Oh,
It's
you call that a
terrible.
bloom effect?
Jeez Louise. Let's see. One more.
You're welcome.
Oh, Phazon 11.7 or 107 or 117. Yeah, that's what
117,
numbers
yeah,
are.
I know that guy.
That's what numbers are. He wanted any new Burnout details, which there just weren't any. But
That seems a shame.
I think they chose not to do it just so Need for Speed could have all the spotlight of
You know,
racing.
Burnout would be a lot more fun if you could use a mouse and keyboard.
Ew.
Really?
Actually, that doesn't work at all.
No.
But, yeah.
Oh, a lot of people also said Final Fantasy Versus 13. Which
Which
if you're
one did they
mad,
show? X2?
if you're mad that there's no King, yeah, they showed 2. If you're mad that there's no Kingdom Hearts 3, it's because the Kingdom Hearts team has been working on Versus 13 for the last 7
They'll
years.
never make another Kingdom Hearts game. Get ready to deal with that. I'm pretty sure we're all doing it now.
Having never played any of them,
Watch
I'm
it.
okay with
Watch
that.
this. I'm dealing with no Kingdom Hearts.
Pair of glasses
It's
just
happening
dropped on your
forever.
face.
But I want to watch little kids eat ice cream in cutscenes.
I want nothing more than that.
Oh, and the last one is VMP Saberwolf said Star Wars Battlefront 3.
But was that ever announced?
I don't know.
It was announced as that it was a canceled game by
From
the
Pandemic?
people who... No, not Pandemic. The guys who... Oh, maybe it was Pandemic. I thought it was dudes who made Lair.
What if that game used the Frostbite engine?
The Factor 5?
Oh my god.
That'd be sick.
That'd be so cool.
I could be Han Darth Solo Vader.
And the Frostbite engine only looks really good on the PC, doesn't it?
That's true, yeah. I mean, it's only really its full potential can be unlocked. Yeah. Not on 6-year-old hardware.
Yeah, it's got weights
What
around
about
its
the Wii U?
ankles, then.
The Wii U.
The Wii U would be up to speed.
Yeah.
That shit'll be like
There's been rumors-
NVIDIA ATL.
There are rumors
Intel.
that the Wii U...
No.
I hope some Wii U games like start off with a loading screen that goes like, "Boo, Nvidia."
There have been rumors that the Wii U isn't more powerful than the PS3 even, so...
I believe it.
That's bad.
Nintendo shouldn't do that. That's a mistake, Nintendo.
Yeah.
Do we have a new question of the week? What happened this week that was fun?
Well, there's Supreme Court.
Ooh, yeah.
Why do you love being able to buy underage violent video games?
Well, I was sort of thinking along the lines that what was a game, and I don't care if this is asked before, but what was a game by your parents or otherwise that you were forbidden from playing? Has that ever happened? I'll open it up in the nature of the show. Anything you were forbidden, like a piece of entertainment you were forbidden from.
The Marshall Mathers LP by Eminem. My parents knew what it was. My parents were ultra liberal. They let me play anything and do whatever the fuck.
I just thought we were the same age. Like,
when that shit came out, they were like, "No, absolutely not,"
Wow.
because that shit blew up on the news, and they were like, "Nope, you can't." Dude.
Yeah, it was like...
So I had my copy, and I hid it between hardcover books in my bookshelf.
Wow.
Yeah, I think we're the same age, Graham, and I think, I remember that was like sophomore year in high school, maybe?
Yeah.
It was, so yeah.
I had a really funny story, too, where I asked for Christmas one year for, do you guys remember the rapper DeBrat?
Of course.
Oh,
I do,
yes. Yeah, the song Funktified.
Was she back and forth? That's Aaliyah. My bad.
Yeah.
My bad.
But anyway, I asked for that album, and I remember that my parents went to the store to purchase it for me for Christmas, and then they had a sit-down conversation with me, which were pretty rare. And they were like, "We saw this album, and there were a lot of objectionable lyrics in the back of the album." It was like, "Fuck Whitey," and numerous other tracks that we thought were not appropriate.
Michael, we think it's about time you had this conversation. We're Whitey. We are Whitey. They're talking about us. They are.
Changes.
You're going to siege an attack against Whitey. And we're not prepared
But
to
I've
deal
been
with that.
singing the N-word for 5 years to rap.
I know. That's so sad.
I just remember that sit-down conversation, how ridiculous it was, because I was like, "Oh yeah, I totally understand why you wouldn't buy that for me. That's fine." And they were like, "We don't want you to think we're really harsh or anything." Like they were super worried about. It was great.
I want you to practice sex on your mother because I want you to go into high school. And
Were
be
your
ready to do
parents
this.
like Ned Flanders' parents, like really liberal?
Not really. My dad,
really nice.
they were nice. Yeah. I think they just gave me the benefit of that. They're like, "Our son's clearly not an idiot."
My parents were. I remember they came in to have a discussion with me. Like, we know you're an adult and you're really scaring us right now. And like, I didn't even smoke, but I had cigarettes and I whipped it out in my room and lit it up and like, fucking talk to me. Like, just there's no reason for that. There was no reason for that.
What are you rebelling against?
What are you?
Just shove your dad and be like, "Hey, old man, huh?"
I did that once, and I don't know what it is about your dad. Like, your dad will always kick your ass. Like,
well, you hold
I
back,
shoved him,
I
and like
think.
when he got mad, it was like it's just like sort of seeing your dad mad at you in a physical way. Like, it's totally like it takes down everything. Like, I couldn't do anything.
Yeah.
He didn't hit me. He just like he was like, "You want to fucking get crazy with me? I fuck your mother. I fuck your mother every day,
even when I don't want to."
Yes.
No, yeah, that's the truth, definitely.
Let's see. I don't know. My mom was so super open about that kind of stuff. Like I just, as a kid, I thought RoboCop looked cool, and I'd never seen the movie, and she just rents it, and we watched the whole thing. And like, she didn't stop me. Same deal with Mortal Kombat. She just bought Mortal Kombat for us. All this stuff. Like she My mom didn't really care. Neither did my dad. He cared even less.
I can't.
But,
Just if you need a replacement.
There was a time though, like I watched tons of R-rated films with my mom in the theater. Like she would just take us to the coolest ones. But I went to the Matrix. I did sneak into the Matrix just to do it because I was like almost 17, and I was like, well, I got to sneak into something eventually. Like I have to sneak into one movie. So I did that for the Matrix, and man, boy, you don't if you weren't of that age in 1999, you don't know what a revelation the Matrix was. Like,
it's a great movie.
I got caught sneaking that on acid. I think I told that story. I don't need to tell it again.
I had an awkward boner story on topic of movies your parents let you. My dad rented Species. To Hemstridge, and I believe I was prime boner age, like 13, 14. I remember watching the movie like, oh man, this is real awkward, and it was just like time to lie down on the carpet and kind of watch the movie.
I'm going to try and find that next week. My parents
lie down on the carpet movie.
I wanted to watch R-rated movies when I was, like 9, 8, 10, something like that, and they were just like, no. Here's Robin Hood, Disney. Oh, never mind. I don't care anymore. And like, I don't remember them forbidding me, but like they could easily distract me with like, here's Sleeping Beauty. I don't care. And so I remember finally going over to my friend's house. His aunt ran a video store, and back in those days, videos were super expensive. Yes. They had to send preview videos.
$65.
$65 for one VHS. So they would send out preview videos so you could look at it. And we had all those. So my first Nightmare on Elm Street, we were all talking about Freddy. Like I had to learn about Freddy through the schoolyard. I had to learn about his powers, and I was terrified of him. And I wanted to see the movie desperately. No internet, just word of mouth. I knew who Freddy Krueger was. First movie, Nightmare on Elm Street: The Dream Child. And the guy was like, the dad was.
I know the scene you talking.
Oh no, it wasn't. It wasn't a scene. It was like the dad had to call my parents and ask if it was okay. And my parents were like, they didn't like. It was almost like my parents became children again. Yeah, your fucking faggot ass kid is over here and wants to watch a movie. Like, you gonna say no? Really? Okay, he can watch it. He can watch it. And I just remember like running outside with my friend Charlie and just like, yes, my first rated R movie since Betsy's wedding. This is gonna be awesome. This is gonna be awesome. And I watched it, and then like I was such a big fan. And when my dad is a big stupid liberal, and like books on tape are always better than watching the movie. Like even if you must not read a book, you'll listen to a book on tape.
Right.
You'll go to sleep listening to Lake Wobegon Tales by Garrison Keillor. He's that kind of guy.
I like that kind of guy.
Fuck Lake Wobegon. I can never deal with that. I love NPR. I cannot deal with that.
I actually do remember that. That takes me back to like one of my first my first sleepover after turning 13.
Did you ever hear that Michael the Onion bit about Garrison Keillor's sex tape being unveiled? It was like, and it's an audio recording, and it's like, that's excellent.
But then we went to a books on tape store at like one of those outlet malls, and we found Nightmare on Elm Street, the novelization book on tape. And he somehow like I have a little sister
on tape.
I have a little sister who's like 6 or 7 years old. And he lets me put it in, and like it's just it's the description. I remember the movie very well, but I don't remember the description on the audio tape describing what's happening, because it's basically hell. And like people reach throughout walls. Some miscreants masturbated in dark corners, and my mom and dad like just that double reach at the eject tape button where they collided, and we got to keep listening to it. And I gotta find it, because it's sort of out of nowhere. They're very literate. Anyway.
Also, shout out to TalkRadar quotes. Chris Antista just said, a 6 or 7 year old let me put it in. That was
God damn it.
That's a good one.
That guy's been all fucking suicide tweets since I broke with my girlfriend, and all bad boyfriend tweets. I guess
he's crossing a line.
I don't know why he's not crossing a line.
We say it. We say it. It
doesn't necessarily hurt me, but it hurts me that you're trying to hurt me.
Yes. Yeah. It's malicious.
Yeah,
you are being malicious.
How would you like if someone just took a highlighter pen to all these random things you said out of context?
But he didn't agree to go on the podcast.
Well, that's true.
That's true. He doesn't act like an idiot most of the day.
I had one. Actually, I have one more sleepover. I have a sleepover story too. It's not that sexy though.
Right now, it's
wait, is this even question of the week anymore? Or is this just like your sleepover?
This is about like one of my first like sleepovers after like turning 12. Like it was my friend's 13th birthday. There were like 5 of us there, and they're like, all right, we got Hellraiser guy, or no, it was Hellraiser 4 or 3, and then I actually I felt scared because like if my parents knew I was watching this, they wouldn't like this. I'm afraid, and it's scared. I was scared at the thought of being scared. Like Hellraiser 3 is not a scary film.
You were more scared of disappointing your parents.
Yeah, that too.
Did I tell that tale? I was at my friend's house back when you were in elementary school, and like I don't know, where there wasn't a class difference. Where like when you grow up and you separate from your friend in kindergarten, you realize like, wow, like no matter what we will try to do, we can't be friends. We're too separated. So I'm at his trailer. And I'm like a suburbs kid. My dad's a lawyer. And like I'm in their trailer with like 4 or 5 kids, 4 or 5 kids that are all this one single moms, and watching. Y'all want to watch Temple of Doom? I know y'all 5 and everything.
Yeah.
And I watched Temple of Doom, and I loved it. And then that heart scene came on. Shiva. I cried. And then like after that, they took it out immediately. And what movie did they put in to wash away my tears? The Last Dragon. They put on The Last Dragon. God. They put on The Last Dragon. So like that last scene, like I don't remember anything but the last scene because I'm already like kind of traumatized.
The fucking glow.
Well, just him like slamming some dude's head in a fucking like a water barrel or I don't know. That's like for a long time. That was all I remembered of the movie. Like I was still traumatized from the heart thing, and now to this day, Temple of Doom, probably having to overcome being afraid of it, is my favorite Indiana Jones movie.
I gotta say, that's a progressive trailer in a deep Florida single mom 5 kids house watching The Last Dragon.
It was not progressive. It was more like say she probably stole HBO and then borrowed one of the neighbors' VCRs.
That's why I watched Last Dragon 500 times as a kid, because it was taped off HBO at the same
an HBO free preview.
Same time frame.
I should go. This is getting long.
Wait, Tyler didn't even answer the question.
Tyler.
What was the question again?
It was a game you were forbidden from playing, or if you have no game?
Oh,
another piece.
Well, there was my brother, who was 10 years older than me, had this giant chest of porn that eventually got broken into when these 2 lesbian lovers who were crackheads broke into our house to steal stuff. But before that happened, I had this cherished, treasured item that I had sneaked out of his gigantic chest of porn and, hid very, very, very cleverly under my bed, under my bed mattress. And I remember my mom found it and she got mad at me.
What was it? What was the tape?
It wasn't a tape. It was a book of erotic penthouse fiction. I wanted to pick something that I didn't think my brother would miss.
I love that stuff.
And that's why Tyler got to become man of the word.
And I'm so fucking mad about penthouse fiction, so I was mowing my lawn one day.
Yeah.
And then these 6 girls jumped out of the bushes and bucked the hell out of me.
I know.
And now I'll describe you everything that happened. Like, god damn, like I just thought that would happen.
I took out my garden hose.
My dad had no porn to speak of. All I was ever able to find was a couple issues of Easy Rider from the late 70s in a box. Wow. So pointy tits and hairy muffs abound.
Yeah.
My dad had one Playboy, and they had a bathroom with a jacuzzi in it. So you go in there and like I'd walk in their closet and like found this Playboy one day, and it was like the only thing memorable about it is that it had the girl who played Kurt Cameron's girlfriend on Growing Pains, and he fired her immedially because he's a giant Christian. And like, so there's all these pictures. Like half of it is her naked, and half of it is her and Kurt Cameron, which is a boner ruiner. Like that just that haircut alone, like that silly fucking Brillo mullet. Like I couldn't stand it. And then it disappeared. I went to go look for it in the briefcase above the old boots and bolo tie Dad doesn't wear anymore. And I went back a year later, and it was there. And like I remember just doing this dance where I just so happy that like my little hard dick hurt so badly from banging up against my legs and belly. I was just doing like I was so fucking tribal and excited about it. And I ran outside, and I just wanted to like, you know what, fuck this. I'm just gonna tell my parents, Dad, I found your Playboy. Leave it on the table from here on out. And it's like before I could even like, do anything. Like I just needed to see it.
We're saying grace around this fucking old Playboy with Kurt Cameron.
Man, I remember, I think I was like 8 or something, and I found a Playboy in my house, and I was so excited. And then I started flipping through it, and then I saw that it was being mailed to my mother, which I thought was really weird.
Whoa!
In a brown envelope. Did Papa collect
Well,
the
her
mail?
name was on the subscription list.
Did Papa collect the mail, though? Was he always home? We got to figure this out.
I don't know.
That's strange.
I don't know. Maybe they were spicing things up. Or
What if she was a contributor? What if she interviewed what if she reviewed like the audio equipment? No, seriously, Playboy's a great magazine. Like if you really
Yeah.
want to know about good electronic
It has-
shit, Playboy.
Yeah, good articles.
Playboy.
I don't know. I had a friend who stole all this porn from his dad. I really didn't have access to porn in my house, so I had to go to my friend's house to see porn.
Henry didn't need porn; he lived it.
Nice.
And this same friend who stole his dad must have had such an expansive collection of porn. How much his son stole from him that he never noticed or got mad about.
Well, I guess if someone raided my hard drive,
Kids today are so spoiled.
Yeah.
Remember when we were 12 or something? Porn was gold.
Yes.
It's like a rare commodity. Now that anyone can just go and
You can legitimately be 26 and talk like a cantankerous old man at this point, because it's true.
As children, you would meet people you'd never meet because somebody had a magazine.
We heard
somebody had a magazine.
One guy had one.
That one guy had that one horrible
Somebody had a magazine.
They smelled horrible. It has that porno
They did.
smell.
No, they have an 80s smell. It smells like an old Toyota van. It reminded me. Patton Oswalt had an article of just do the world a favor and leave a Playboy in the woods for a kid to find.
Yeah,
and that's exactly. I found so many Playboys in the woods. Just do it. All right, Mikey's going to pee. We should leave. Mikey's working a bunch of stuff. Brett's working on a Zelda feature. Henry, this week you got.
I did posted something already, the Wii and DS thing, and also I did Game of the Month, which was Shadows of the Damned. It beat Legend of Zelda Ocarina 3D.
Oh, that already got to be the Game of the Month, and the games rated that didn't exist in the alternate.
That is right.
I haven't decided what this weekend's weekend giveaway is going to be, but it's going to be something special.
Mm-hmm.
And we also have closed beta keys for Rusty Hearts coming up.
Boo!
Woo!
And I am working on maintaining my job. But we're going to close out. I don't know. I watched Wet Hot American Summer. That's the intro. That's the intro to the second segment. We're going to go out with Higher and Higher from Wet Hot American Summer.
That's a good movie.
And we'll see you next week. Hopefully.
Goodbye.
Bye.